I just turned it on. What's that? Yeah, isn't that nice?
I'm not gonna be fancy with my hello. I'm just gonna make weird noises.
I mean, all right.
Harry might have a frog in his throat today because
You've been doing the voice thing for a while.
I can't tell you exactly what was recorded, but I can tell you it's been a lot of children kind of stuff. So if Harry's like, that's why.
There you go. That sounds delicious. Now live on your channel. I just got an email to tell me that I'm live on my own channel. It's super.
Like you accidentally sit on your phone the wrong way and let you know that this might not be the best kind of broadcast.
Thanks, email. I didn't know that. You're the best.
Those are always the best ones.
We'll copy this thing and throw it into. Where should I put it? I'll put it in Discord. The game? Put it in here. Is that the link? Does that work? I think that works. Pay no attention to the title of the game. That doesn't mean anything.
I don't think I'm looking at the correct screen when you say stuff like that. I see like our little pictures.
Look at game, the game channel, the actual text channel, not the chitty chat one. And there's a link there to percolate out as you see fit. I could probably do that too, but it sounds. Oh, thank you. I always feel like I never know quite where to put it. Like, is it self promo? What is that stuff? I suppose it is. Feels weird to say it's a promo thing, I guess, but whatever. Abuelito. Abuelito. Abuelita. Abuelita.
Do we want to save the backyard cookout until?
No, I want him to miss it because then he's more awkward about it. It's even better. We love you. We love you, Sean, but also suck it. He's gonna see that and be like, okay, all right, I see how it is.
It's gonna be great.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
At some point, I want to ask you about my next big building things. I kind of went off the reservation a little bit and did some things without talking to you first. But you may be interested to know that when I Google in quotes mask new generation plus in quotes Hottie.
Hecate.
Like oh, I've always said that like the beer. That's so weird. now I know that.
I think it's Hecate, but anyway, keep going. Yeah. You get my first you get my first mask game because she was in.
That's exactly what I got.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I have no idea which NPCs are completely yours and which ones have the serial numbers filed off from like the what you call it
Hecate. No, I think everything from the supers group. I'm not. Well, see, the thing is, there's only a villains deck for. They only ever did a villains deck for masks. So bad guys are a lot more likely to be stuff that's sort of like official, than the stuff for the actual superheroes. So Hecate, most of these guys are my guys. Yeah, most of these guys are just people that random names that I threw up and said this is a cool name that I haven't heard 100 times as a superhero name. Yes. Oh, I can fix that. Oh, thank God somebody caught that. Man, this is an excellent reason to go live. 1 second. Properties. It's grabbing the wrong mic. And I should put it here. Oh, that's why I know why that is too. Last week was weird. Say something.
Something.
Are you using
And
virtual audio cable? All right.
Will,
Take 3. Hello, everybody.
Will, can you hear us?
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, so Will's asking how we're doing. So I'm doing great.
Will is
Thank
our
you for
Will is our
asking.
QC for this. He's quality control.
Yay.
Hello.
We love a good quality control.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah, we were just commenting on the fact that we're going to have a thing happen that Birthrate's going to miss out on, and we've decided that we're going to go forward with him missing out on it because it will make it even more awkward that he has missed out on it. So
I'm so excited.
sorry, Sean.
It's
We love
great.
you, but also suck it.
But also suck it.
The fallout that I am 100% looking forward to is Wrecker. Oh, Birthright couldn't be here. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Birthrate's not.
Oh wait, no,
Record.
this isn't the called on the carpet thing. This is the backyard.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
sorry,
This
sorry,
is
sorry,
no.
sorry, sorry.
I'm not gonna have. No,
No.
he absolutely has to be there for the tower, which way has to be for the things.
Right,
But in the meantime, we have a few other things that we need to sort out. We're going to begin with Perry. Hello.
It's
You
not his
had
voice, that was me.
you had a lingering question from your assess situation as you were like scanning the city and stuff like that, because you had asked sort of like how Birthrate's affected by all of. I feel like it was sort of like how Birthright is affected by all of Dr. Infinity's shenanigans.
Yes.
And
I
you
think
know, and
the
kind of
second-
had kind of gotten a, you know, like, well, he might decide to do something rash or just to kind of prove himself and that kind of thing. Cue him running by with troll trailing after, and that led to all that rest of the stuff. I don't think we ever got to your second question.
We did not get to the second question. Real quick, before we get to the second question, do I need to tell you what I picked because I leveled up?
You can, if you want to.
Okay, does that, I mean, well, yeah. Sorry, apparently I can't read that and lean forward at the same time. It's like my body's 50, but my eyes are 80.
I gotcha.
So.
None of that is good. I'm gonna get into the mass thing and look at the playbook. So
what the heck was it? It was.
Did you pick up a Harbinger thing or something else?
Yeah, I want to do the Harbinger thing. I didn't actually check it when so now I got to remember which one it was. It was one of the ones that lets me roll Savior instead of Mundane. And it was
Tomorrow's Golden Promise.
Tomorrow's Golden Promise.
Oh,
Tomorrow's Golden
you
Promise.
cunning bastard. Lovely.
Tomorrow's Golden Promise.
When you comfort or support someone with tales of what you think their future will be, you may roll plus Savior instead of plus Mundane. Mark a condition unless you are confident the stories are true. So you can always do it, but you might need to mark
pretty
a
much
condition.
means I'm always going to mark a condition. Because
that's funny.
But worth it to have. It looked like a little bit. All the Harbinger moves just pretty much, if you stick with the Harbinger moves, locks you into, well, locks, but it pretty much puts you on Savior and what you call it, Superior.
Yeah, they tend to have, and
So,
most of the playbooks are kind of like that, where you have.
Focus.
Yeah,
Foci?
there tends to be like sort of stats that go with each of the playbooks a little bit. Some of them a single one, some of them two. Certainly, like the Legacy is all about Savior. That's sort of the original Savior one. Everybody's got their. I think one of the ones that's interesting is the Janus, because you have Mundane and some other label, and you can toggle them back and forth. So depending on which one you're focusing on, that one will be great, and the other one will be terrible.
Right. I kind of like that from the idea of, because the first few sessions I clearly leaned into Superior more than Savior, but I think that also kind of makes sense from a Harbinger story arc, because you land and you're like, what, who, when, where, what?
Yeah.
So now that now that Perry knows what's up a little bit more, and Frank has learned the game a little bit more, I can start leaning into Savior too.
Well, it all works, and it's good that I like the idea of you coming at it analytically and then getting a little bit more about rescuing people.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that tracks really well with the character concept we had talked about earlier too. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this was just numbers on a piece of paper, but now there's like sweat and feelings.
Yeah. That's you've just
Feelings.
you've just described. Yes. All right, so I put it into your playbook as well. Just so it's in there
Gracias.
as a active move that's under savior.
Thank
So
you,
you can just
sir.
hit the dice there and it should roll your savior. Okay, so good. Well done. Well spotted.
Sleep well. Most likely kill you in the morning.
Most likely kill you in the morning. We had I feel like everyone's gotten pretty close. Maybe Birthright didn't get an advance yet because he was like,
He's
You're
the
not
one
my
not
real
screwing up on
dad.
his rolls.
well, he had the opportunity at the end of the thing and pick something else. Like, no, I'm going to clear a condition instead of taking them. I'm like, okay, that's brave.
I uncheck these 5 potential now, right? Now that we've done
Yep,
that.
you clear that so you can pick up more. Yep. Okay, cool. So what's your other? You're doing this scanning for
don't-
weird
It was
anomalies
yeah.
around the city and.
It wasn't the road trip one. There was
Well,
wait,
it was you going around the city on the
Yeah,
public
on the-
transit, sort of scanning. And I would
Right.
say it'd even be possible a little bit if you wanted to. You could probably, I'll give you this. Instead of doing another question from assess the situation, since you've done one from the situation, assess the situation, you could take a question from pierce the mask, which is a different. It's more like what's going on with you.
Right.
What's your deal?
You want me to poke the archived thread again so y'all can read it, or do y'all want to?
Oh yeah, if you want, that's great.
Oh, that's actually yes, please. Because I honestly I couldn't remember what the second choice is that I made. I knew that it wasn't. I think I did one for the team and one for the monkeys. Is think what I picked because
No,
I didn't want to.
I think you specifically chose not the monkeys because you were like.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, like because you were like, oh, the monkeys are the important thing to me, but I don't think important to anybody else. Was I think how you voiced it.
That makes sense.
Where is it? Where did it go?
It's underneath games. I just
love letters. There we go.
Love Letter Sessions 4 is also on the handouts on the Roll20.
I think you only
yeah.
no, you know what? You only rolled a 7 and 9, so I think you got one pick. So, but you got 2 options off of that. So you did.
That's what it was.
Dr.
It was 2
Infinity,
options within the same thing.
Yeah, Dr.
Okay.
Infinity has been messing with you and the team. Maybe your memory and perception is hazy. That is not good. Plus, it's definitely on Birthright's mind, and that is not great. With a bit of temporal energy scanning, public transit in the city is cheap and covers a lot of ground. You can get a better idea of what the android is up to, where, and maybe why. Which was basically you doing a. I basically treated it like an assess the situation where you got to ask 2 questions. But if you want, if you turn in your hymnals to the basic moves, the questions under assess the situation under basic moves are fine. But if you want, you could instead pick a question off of the pierce the mask list for your other question.
Oh.
If you want for the second
one.
Well,
that's cool.
And kind of get a sense of what the heck it'd be. This would obviously be much more directly pointed at Dr. Infinity.
Right.
Like, what's your deal? Not lady.
Yeah. I definitely want to do that. Yeah.
As you're analyzing all these things, it's like looking at it. You know what it is? You're looking at all the different little temporal fluctuations and stuff, the history of sort of called a heat map of temporal fluctuations.
It's like going back and forth between goggles.
Yeah. Like, but like kind of a heat map of the city and all these little temporal fluctuations around the city. It's like looking at an analysis of a chess game. Like just in nothing but chess notation, trying to figure out from this what the heck they're up to. What from that does that mean about what they're looking for, what they're doing, or why are they in my soup right now? Like what is going on with them? So I'm good.
I've got to go. I've got to each one of these is like, well, if I take a step back, it's that. If I take a step back, it's that. Right? So I've got to go with what are you really planning?
Okay.
Because everything else falls from that as far as Perry is concerned. Like when he's doing the existential slash
it's a lot of
temporal math.
so it's a lot of cross-referencing between like these temporal fluctuations, their appearances and whatnot, and like what was happening in the day, what kind of stuff was going on that day. And some of it's like, oh, there was a supers battle that was going on right then, or there was this, or there was this, whatever. There was some sort of, fire. It was something that was going on with us. A lot of times it's like, I think I was shopping for shoes that day. Somewhere in that, like, why were they messing around? Like, I was just buying shoes. What? That's like, there doesn't seem to be anything else going on, but I was there that day. I was just like, I sat in a coffee shop for 3 hours. What were they doing there? This kind of thing.
Okay.
Their
Now-
their activity seems to be directive. Seems to be constraining, and the first thing that you think of, like the word that eventually comes to mind, is sheepdog. Like they're
worried that me accomplishing my mission is going to curtail them accomplishing theirs.
yeah. There's some stuff with let me see, where's the thing I did for Dr. Infinity? Where did that go? Our little handout of joy. If you look on the little journal thing, there's like a thing on Dr. Infinity and some stuff there. There's some hypothetical origins that are in there that Aegis has sort of pieced together. Every one of their appearances seems to have ended in a more stable timeline. In theory.
Oh man.
But they do seem to have a tendency to deploy whatever means and tactics they think necessary to ensure whatever outcome it is that they're aiming for, whatever stable timeline means.
Not concerned with how many pallets of eggs they go through to get there.
Exactly. There's possibly, like, they've made some pretty heinous threats here and there, but they've never ever had to go through with them. And you have to start to wonder if they ever actually would have, or if the threats themselves were the thing that needed to be introduced into the timeline to get things back on track.
We're enough to just skew the angle back where it was supposed
but
to
they have
be.
certainly done some things that make them persona non grata when it comes to like Aegis and other sort of law-abiding agencies. They've never directly tangled, and they seem to, in some cases, almost be actively avoiding tangling with the Exemplars. Go
ahead.
They're Exemplars adjacent occasionally, but they never like sit in there and like end up in a Donnybrook with Transcendent.
Also, knowing what I know about the stuff that we brainstorm is like sort of, unless somebody goes no, is canon, right? So I'm thinking about how the Exemplars had to cover up the thing for Vigil, right? So they're not entirely on the up and up either.
Yeah, they certainly want to keep things.
So what are the odds that Dr. Infinity is actually hip pocketed with Aegis or the Exemplars, because they need somebody who can act outside of the norms?
Honestly,
this is Perry spinning on what you're giving me, so I'm not sure how relevant.
There's a lot of theorizing about Dr. Infinity from Aegis themselves. Like there's conflicting theories about their origins, all that kind of stuff, that would indicate that they probably don't have them in their hip pocket. Honestly, the thought of Aegis having a time-traveling, time-manipulating android in their hip pocket is...
Aegis is like Halcyon
terrifying.
City, not like our multiverse, right?
Okay. Aegis is the Shield XP, like the Shield insert. So they're about as whatever as they need to be. Get him to scale here.
I hear you.
About right? Somewhere in there. Yeah, look at that. You get Perry in his lab. Thinking while he solves a
Okay.
Rubik's Cube one-handed. Looking confused.
I don't think Perry ever. If you ever see Perry not looking confused, just
Run.
run.
Oh shit! He figured something out. Leave now.
So, whatever they seem to be, whatever Dr. Infinity seems to be up to, broadly
Yeah.
speaking, seems to be like keeping things on a path. And more often than not, it seems to be involving your team more and more, and you specifically, which makes sense because you are proactively fiddling with the timeline, or at least trying to.
So
And
I need to find out if the timeline that I'm trying to avoid and the timeline that she's trying to create, like what,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
how much
What
so
the
does
overlap
that? Yeah,
disconnect.
how much?
Yeah.
So theories from ages created by some far-flung transhuman civilization to make sure that they come into existence, created by an alien mind, who took it upon that some alien mind, and the thing it just took it upon itself to protect the timeline of reality, or they were created in the modern day, approximately, the product of some super scientist attempting to deal with a coronal incursion or maladaption, causality loop. That is the very kind of thing that Dr. Infinity can create. So this thing that you can do, make that not happen so much. And Halcyon City, to be fair, tends to be a bit of a nexus for this kind of BS, even when you're not around.
Right. So I'm thinking that Dr. Infinity has laws of robotics. They're just not the laws of robotics.
Being a robot
Their
and
own
having
laws of robotics
by
yeah.
definition. Between that statement and a comment that Mo made earlier, I'm going to take a slight just sidebar and make to anybody who happens to be listening, including the people who are playing, and recommend a book series. It's actually a novella series. They're short things. On audiobook, they're 3 to 4 hours each. The Murderbot Diaries. Yes,
You
it's
had
exactly.
me at hello.
It's exactly. It is exactly as adorable as it sounds. The Murderbot Diaries, by Margaret Wells, I think, and the audiobooks are great. The books themselves are great, and they're written from the point of view of a autonomous security bot. It's actually half human, half sort of a super cyborg, like very, very cyborg. But they were essentially never human. They were only ever, but they're a mixed bioorganic thing. And this particular one has hacked their governor module so that they are technically a rogue sec unit, which is what horror movies are made about during this time in the futuristic era. And having hacked their governor unit, rather than going berserk, they use all of their free time to watch serialized dramas on the media feed, without any governance from the government. That's
amazing.
That is how they emotionally recover from having to deal with stupid humans, and it is delightful. It is, and honestly, I think they really kind of modeled Murderbot on someone who's pretty high on the autistic spectrum, and isn't like comfortable with human eye contact and stuff, or people touching them. So they tend to, like, when they're having conversations with people, they don't look at people. They watch them through the security cameras at oblique angles.
That's amazing.
That kind of stuff. It's really, really good. And but Mo, your comment of ew emotions is that is vintage Murderbot, which is the name
Oh my God.
that's the name they've given themselves, is Murderbot. Because there's a big hole, and as I've said before, one of my literary kinks is amnesia. There's apparently a massacre event that happened at some job that they had earlier, where they apparently killed a bunch of people, and they have no memory of it whatsoever. Their memory's been wiped, and they're trying to figure out what the heck actually happened back during this. thing on top of all the other junk that's going on. But yeah, when they need their quiet place, there's a thing in Scum and Villainy and all the Blaze in the Dark games where you have like a kind of like our Doom Sanctuary, where you can like the thing that you do to rest and recuperate, like go gambling, go drinking, whatever.
They can indulge in their vices.
Yeah, they're vices. In this case, the Murderbot's vice is to stream all 157 episodes of Sanctuary Moon, the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon, which is this like serial drama that was the first one they watched, and that's their go-to when they really need to. There's a moment in there where they have had a very bad time, and they basically get back onto a ship that's going towards a wormhole, and they're going to be traveling for like the next 2 weeks. And rather than doing it, they literally lay down on the deck of the ship in a hallway. They don't even bother getting back to a room. They just lay down on the deck in the hallway and flip the stream on at episode 1 with the intention to watch it until they get to the station that they're going to in 2.5 weeks. Because they just need all of the vice load that they can get to cope with all of the horseshit that they just went through with the stupid humans.
I need to go take a test to see if I'm on the spectrum now, because you just described my life.
I mean, it's the first book. The first book especially feels very, very close to that. The character becomes more complicated. I was gonna say more nuanced. They become more complicated in the as things progress, but it's fun, and the novellas are more thing. Anyway, all right. So sorry for that tangent, but I wanted to mention it before I forgot about it. All right.
It happens.
It
I love
happens.
tangents.
Also, I just realized Andrew has a Luigi hat on, and I was very surprised.
Fun to Luigi.
Easily my favorite Super Mario character ever, because he is both at the same time the bravest and the most cowardly in the entire series.
I love that.
It's fantastic. He just acts super cowardly all the time, but he still goes and does this stuff.
Yep. I will, and incidentally, a bit of mass news. I have to share this. I went to our local game shop. Our very, very close nearby local game shop is closed for renovations right now, but their sister shop, which has the exact same name, but they're more distant. My daughter and I went to go visit it yesterday, and they had mask books, shrink wrapped, but they're the original ones, so I didn't pick up an extra copy. But they had this, which
Ooh.
That's cool.
This is the first source book that they ever did for masks. It's sort of a collection of newspaper articles. It's called the Halcyon City Herald Collection. It's a collection of newspaper articles about various stuff, opinion pieces about the crappy new heroes that we're getting these days, stuff like that. And then there's like some custom moves in here. And it's the book that the first expanded playbooks came in. So like the Reformed and not the Reformed, the Innocent and the Joined and the Newborn and the Reformed, and then the Star, which I'm a huge fan of. This thing, I have it in electronic, but I wasn't buying stuff. You can't get this in hard copy anymore. It's not in print anymore. You can't order it off the website. You can only get an electronic version. They had 3 copies shrink wrapped at the game store, and I was like, mine.
Give me that.
It's the only hard copy thing of masks that I didn't own, and now I have one, and that's
awesome.
That was like me and the Kids on Bikes, Volume 1, and I was like,
that?
I saw it, and I was like, I must have it.
Yeah. Something crash?
I think my daughter's practicing jumping off the top rope with her. She has one of those like toddler appropriately sized loft beds, and now that she's
Jumping
5,
off the top?
she likes to.
Nice.
And she's upstairs, so the whole house just goes.
Nice. So that's where your research been. I have I've got Perry over here in his room.
Mhm.
He's been doing with all his stuff. Mitzi,
There's a timer goes off that reminds Perry to bathe and we
Eat.
cut to Mitzi. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of the egg timers. One of these egg timers goes off, and it like there's one that's like a sticky note that says, and it's the sticky note, but it's been taped because the stickies come
Right.
off the back,
Yep.
and it just
Yep.
says
Yep.
one says eat, one says bathe, and it goes
And then,
off, and
and
he
then
picks
the
it
one,
up,
The 10 minutes later is like, no, really, eat.
and he picks it up.
And
He's
there's just like a box of
"Ugh."
granola bars next to it because like you
Right.
don't.
If nothing else, this.
Like 3 bags of recycles, all Slim Fast.
My God. Oh,
It's protein shakes.
Perry.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh no, wait, it wouldn't be because Perry's got the lactose intolerant thing because he's from. Wait, would people get more lactose tolerant the longer we
No.
domesticate cows? don't
I
know.
think people are
It hasn't
starting to
happened
become
yet,
more
right?
allergic over the past
Right.
years. I think
Yeah.
people are getting more allergies.
I think people are also acknowledging it more because I think like a long time ago they'd have been like, "No, I can do this. It's fine."
It
And
is-
now we're like,
Technically,
"No."
technically, lactose intolerance isn't an allergy as such. Most kids can have dairy. There's a
It's just our
point.
bodies can't break them down.
Well,
Like, down the dairy.
Little kids can
Well,
do
yeah.
it. They're a little bit more like omnivorous when it comes to those kinds of fats and stuff that they need to have for growth. And then when they get to a certain age, they're like, yeah, I don't need to literally process dairy fat from any living creature to survive. I'm past that point. I'm going to stop processing that. And there's very few places, and it tends to be people who grew up in places that were really god awful cold for 10,000 years that are like, yeah, actually continuing to process dairy is sort of a survival trait here. And the rest of the planet's been like, yeah, no, I think I'm good with not that much cheese. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Much.
And then you've got the
yeah.
Norwegians,
Yeah, short stack got a lot of recessive genes because I'm lactose intolerant, but her mom is allergic to dairy, so we're very aware of those
Oh, wow.
differences. So
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's the whole different thing.
Yeah. there's a
Um,
whole yeah.
Oof.
Yep. Anyway,
And we turned the paperwork for school in too early. We were on top of it. We turned it in too early, so they lost it, and there wasn't the dairy alternative for her. And so like they're handing her a grilled cheese, and kudos to short stack. She's like, well, I can't eat this. So,
good job, her. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So,
All right.
Mitzi,
About that tangent.
what's it been like in your house last?
Oh.
Like, so you had the big thing,
Uh-huh.
the big city thing, and there were some cameras, which felt pretty good. There was also like how your day started, not as awesome.
Yeah.
And you're playing that. Your brain has been sort of helpfully completing that sentence that you didn't quite hear from your parents. Before she what? Before she attracts too much attention, before she decides to be a superhero, before she accidentally mind wipes the neighborhood, before she puts the neighborhood into orbit.
Yeah, so many options.
Yeah, none of them. There isn't. I don't imagine you sitting around thinking up really happy complete before she
Oh no.
becomes the prom
Mitzi's
queen. Before she wins
Mitzi's
a
an emotional
prize.
child. She thinks everything's the worst. Everything's a worst case scenario.
Yeah. Middle child and big brother's a senior and the twins are. It feels like the twins are always
Twins and a baby.
and they always get the attention, right? They're the ones that like dad's always carting them off to taekwondo or tramp and
Soccer.
tumble or soccer
Yeah.
or freaking volleyball this week or whatever it is that they're doing that they're into. And it's a never-ending cycle because one of them gets interested. They do it one week. The second one sees it because they show up with dad from whatever way they were doing, sees this thing. That looks fun. They want to join. As soon as the other twin's there, then the first one doesn't want to do it anymore, and they cycle on to the next thing.
They're like that. They're the twins that don't want to do things together, but also want.
They want to do things together, but like they also like occasionally are like, I just want to do something, but they don't verbalize it that way. They suddenly one of them's not interested anymore.
Yeah. So they're in like everything.
Yeah.
LJ's off in college, so he's barely around. And then Julian, I mean, when you're siblings in the same high school, y'all don't like, really talk.
I'll be very interested to see how that works when my two youngest ones are in the same elementary, and they will be through 2 more years. And then after that, because the middle school is only 2 years and they're 2 years apart, they won't be back in the same school again until my son is a junior and then my daughter is a freshman. And I'll be really interested to see what they do.
Yeah.
Once they're all in the same school again.
Your son will be established in the school, and then like she'll come in, he's like, hey, and he'd probably be like,
I don't know. I mean, at this point in time, hopefully this will stick because I mean, when it comes to those two, he wouldn't ever verbalize it this way, but he will walk over broken glass. For that kid. So no problem. So what's this? I don't know if a lot. Probably this is sort of later this afternoon. Like you guys got the stuff sort of, hey, waving to the press, and one more like reaffirming hand squeeze from Revenant, and you kind of like feels weird to just go back to the bus now. I should probably go back home and
yeah.
What but you had like kind of a big like everyone seems to be pretty, and you felt pretty good about that holding the train steady and all that. Like, is this a talk to Abuela thing? Is it go back home? But you're walking back into that conversation that they don't know that you heard. What's the deal?
I think first off, whenever she gets a chance to like sneak away from the public eye, she's gonna change back into street clothes.
Yeah, sure.
Take off the mask and all that. And then she's probably gonna climb into her window, like sneak into her house. Because she did sneak out.
She did sneak out, and I gotta get Abuela's picture here and save this thing. I need this picture. Where do I go? Assets? Yeah, sure. No. She'll be at the head of the list of all my NPCs because
Name starts with an A.
Because it starts with an A.
Yeah.
Far ahead of Homewrecker. Certainly. Anyway.
Yeah, so Mitzi, like, her window has been open just because she left it open whenever she left.
Sure.
She just sort of, like, lies up and, like, quietly steps down.
And you get into the room. You're into the room for about 30 seconds, and the door into your room opens, and Abuela comes in. She's like, I saw you on TV. Like, she immediately knew you were home. And she comes in, she's just like, and she's kind of a little, and she's like, I saw you on TV. You held a whole train.
Abuela,
How
shut
did
the
you
door.
hold?
Por favor, shut the door.
She guys kind of waves over her shoulder, and the door closes.
And then, like, as she does that, Mitzi like flicks a finger, and the window closes gently behind her. Like, oh, I did. I did it.
So cameras, little praise. It doesn't hurt. Little praise doesn't hurt. How was that?
It's a good boost, Abuela. And I think Mitzi like just sort of like flops on her bed, like on her back, and she's like,
she sits down on the edge of the bed after a second. Yeah, she sits down.
Yeah, she's like, did you
What's
know
the
that
matter?
Mom and Dad? Do you know Mom and Dad want to move?
No, that's not what they want to do.
No, I heard that. I overheard them saying that they're looking to move out of Halcyon.
They didn't say they wanted to move. They said they are thinking about moving. And yes, I know. Of course I know. I know everything.
But it felt like they were blaming me about the move.
They're worried about you because you have all
Why?
these. Because you're very good, and they also
They don't know I do. I'm.
no.
That right?
They know that you are very good at And they also know that you are very good. So if someone has this and they're a very good person, they get mixed up in things. If something bad is happening, are you going to not say something? Someone on the street pushes down somebody, someone's a bully, you're not going to do something, whether you have powers or not? Of course you are. Now
course
you
I
have
am.
powers, so you can deal with somebody who's pushing down a whole building instead of a little boy.
Or a train about to,
So they
jetpack.
know our little girl. They know our
Yeah.
Mitzi. So, what did you say that you thought her nickname for you would be?
Was it Mimi?
I think it might have been. I can't remember now. It was
It was
a
like
while.
weeks ago.
Yeah, and we didn't like. Everyone was like, "Cool," and then we didn't write it down.
I think it's Mimi.
Yeah,
Mimi.
they know our Mimi, and they know what she's likely to do. So they're
Forever.
not saying they want to move. They're saying, should we move before? Uh, they worry about you. You know.
I just feel like the way I heard it saying is before she does something. Like what am I gonna do? Like
Save the
do they
world.
think
Try to leap into the middle of. Try to stop a train from running. They may be a little bit behind.
do they think I don't like control my powers?
No,
Like
I'm sure that's not it. Now this, you're not 100% sure that she's not softening things up a little bit. Um, they may. I'm not sure how much they think that you don't. You're. I think Abuela has a pretty good picture of how much you're having to keep how much of a fire hose you potentially are. No, Mihao was sort of like the generic one that we said during the game, but when we were bouncing around tech stuff, I'm talking to Will here for a second.
yeah,
Um,
me has like a term of endearment.
yeah, Miha's sort of like a generic term of we think that the nickname that Abuela came up with for her was like Mimi or something like that, but we had just popped it off in text on the Discord, and now we can't remember.
So long ago, but I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
was.
Mimi.
Yeah. So in any case, um, so I don't think your folks have a sense of like you being this psychic nuclear reactor.
Yay, good.
Mom, your mom might be, because it's your mom's side of the family, so she's like, she could get Abuela did that, and but Golden Age was different, you know,
Mhm.
uh, and what she was able to do was a little bit, if you think about Golden Age comics just in general, you're talking about when there were powers, they were a little bit like, oh, I can suddenly move the coffee cup from across the room. It wasn't like, and I'll stop the train with my telekinetic powers. It's a bigger move. So what the fact that she could fly was a big deal. And kind of her claim to fame. Like there weren't a lot of flying heroes back in the day.
Yeah.
So the fact that was like one of her things was, sort of um, sort of a big deal. And I'm absolutely going to do that. That's weird. And your mom, maybe you've gotten some inclination that your mom maybe kind of categorizes you mentally in that same. Well, she's got a grandma's power, so she's like that. She's that powerful. So there may be some of we don't want her to get involved in this because she's not really up to the batting. She's not really up to the A leagues of what we're seeing on TV. She can't do that.
In reality, they are seeing her on TV.
I mean, it's not like she can do what that. It's not like she can do what that girl did that stopped the whole train.
Yeah, that girl's so powerful.
So I'm not sure if it's that on the nose, but there's going to be a sense of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So hang on, get over here. There we go. I tried to find like a suburban ranch style house with a good sized backyard.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Basement the same size as the house, so the thing's like 3,000 square feet. It's just like half of it's underground, and it's in the basement. But
Basements exist? Sorry, I live in Texas. We don't have basements here. Also, didn't have them in Florida either. So
yeah, Florida wouldn't. I think I have to ask.
Don't you have a storm cellar?
I need to ask.
Oh.
I need to ask.
Like not yeah.
I need to ask Sean if they have that. If that's a North Carolina thing. In Colorado, the first house I got was almost exactly like this, and it was like 1,500 square feet on the ground, but the basement was another 1,500 square feet, and it was fully finished.
Because you live in a mountain. You live on
Yeah.
a mountain. You can dig into the mountain.
It's true. It's true. Okay, yeah, we didn't have basements in South Dakota, I guess. That's not true. My grandmother did. I don't know. It kind of depends. One of our houses did. It kind of goes either way.
Depends on the era too.
It depends on the era too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basements for a long time were basically a dugout root cellar that you kept like your carrots and stuff down in, like sand and buckets full of sand to keep them for a long period of time. Anyway,
Okay.
but in any case, yeah, I just needed a place. So, where was I going with this? All right. I think we need to. They're just talking things over. It's not like they can move right away, even if they want to. They're worried about you, and maybe they're worried for you. Maybe they're a little worried that you might be. I think we need to calm them down a little bit. So
What are you thinking?
we're going to do a little cookout tomorrow, and I think you need to bring your boys over. I think they need to be your friends.
And I think that's when she grabs a pillow and just like slaps on her face and goes like, "Ah!"
I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I wasn't going to do this anyway, but I think we need to speed things up a little bit.
Why? Why are you doing that? Oh.
So I just think it's going to be good for them to see you.
But if I just invite boys over, they're just gonna be like,
Then when I think you need to acclimate them to this so they get to know the people, and then when they find out that maybe you're, following in the family footsteps, then they know who you're with and that what fine young men they are.
I'm just saying, I don't know. Dad's a little protective of me when it comes to boys.
Well, then they better be gentlemen, which I need to also verify that they are gentlemen. They look nice on TV, but one of them's a little fashion forward. Is he? What is his thing? Is he? She makes like the. I don't have to.
She does the wrist thing. I don't know.
You don't know?
Abuela, you want to know a secret? Just between us again.
Have you met me? Of course I want to know a secret.
It's from the future.
Oh.
So definitely, then.
Like how I believe the game's going back to the important questions.
I mean, I feel bad about that, but oh, thank you. I get to sit in the brown chair. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for my ticket. So my daughter has one of her friends over, is sleepover, and just staying here through the day. They're having a birthday party later, and she's babysitting the kids while we had to go out and run around and do stuff. And while we were gone, they made a play, including tickets. And she had to deliver my show ticket for later, so I can go and see the play down in the basement.
I love your family so much.
I get to
That's
sit.
adorable.
I get to sit in the brown chair.
You even have reserved seating.
And
That's
seating. Yeah.
That's nice.
Right.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good stuff. Yeah, that's a whole. Anyway, I mean, I think maybe this is a little risky. I'll admit it, but they remind me of some of my old friends. Maybe not the one with the fin.
M- and wait, it's called a mohawk. He's not a
Is he
fish.
a biker?
I mean,
Uh,
I'm not a fish, but am I though?
I mean, there's a lot of aquatic like imagery going
Symbolism.
on in some of your
Yeah.
stuff. So he
I
seems a
don't.
little.
I don't.
Does he dress like that when he's not?
Yes.
Oh, well, it's good to meet new people.
Yes, it's good to have an open mind, Abuela.
I have a very open mind.
Okay.
One of my partners was
Abuela.
we didn't say that back then because you could they would have been kicked out of the team back then, but we all knew. We all knew. Boys.
But
Boys
just-
sidekick. I mean, who are they fooling?
Oh my god.
so okay, I'll invite them.
Incidentally, parenthetical side note, an excellent nonfiction book on the entire history of Batman, and his eventually it becomes there's a good section of it on his importance to the sort of the Rainbow Mafia in general, as representative of the culture without actually being representative of the culture, because you had to like find your representation where you could. Is a book called The Caped Crusade, which is written and read by the author, and is really quite delightful. So if you want to delve into a little bit of Batman stuff in a nonfiction book, it's excellent.
Not Dick, but Tim come out as bi, or they wrote him as bi.
Tim did come out as bi. Well,
Tim, yeah.
he came out as bi. They like, if you read a lot of like Tim comics from like any time in the last like 5 to 10 years, you could tell that's where they were going. Like that's where they were like, this is going to be a thing. And I think it's super cool because he's my least favorite Robin, but I still like all of the Robins better than I like Batman. So that's fine.
If you guys follow, I can't remember the guy, the TikTok creator, but they did he does a ton of DC comic, most of the Robin stuff. He's got like a mohawk and he does like a ton of this stuff, but he did a great
Panda
skit.
Red.
What's that? Panda yeah.
Red.
He did a great skit of Tim coming over to the other Robins and coming out, and they're all like, "Yeah, we know." I'm like, what do you mean you know? And like how there's no way you could have known. Do you want us to prove it to you? Because this could be embarrassing for you. And he's like, what could you possibly do? And they're like, hey, Connor, and like Superboy lands. Hey, can you help? I got a date tonight. Can you help me wash my car? It's gonna be really soapy and stuff. You want to take your shirt off real quick? And Tim's just like, no, give. Actually, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So, and he's like, so he's pulling his shirt back down. He goes, okay, well, I'll see you later. And he kind of gives Tim a little wink at a little finger gun thing and takes off. And Damian Wayne walks in, and all of Damian Wayne shots and all of his skits are like from the nose up because he's shorter than everybody else. And he's like, I'm assuming from the fact that Kent just left with the shirt half off that Drake finally realized what's going on with him, with himself. Like, does everybody know? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good deal. I will say, and I will share this at some point in time if I can dig it up, there is a fantastic fan fiction thing by one of my favorite writers who should be getting published and isn't, about it. She did all of her stuff as text messages between Tim and the girl who was Spoiler in the DC comics. So text messages back and forth between them.
Mm-hmm.
When his parents, who won't acknowledge his proper pronouns, bring them to the Bruce estate, and like he's trying to track down this one rogue Wi-Fi signal and finds the Batcave by accident by tracking down the rogue Wi-Fi signal and ends up down in the Batcave.
Oops.
But and actually back in some secret panels and stuff like behind some of the rooms. and is freaking out because the parents are being awful about the pronouns, because in that series, Tim's trans and is a
Oh.
trans boy, and his parents are awful, and Bruce basically adopts Tim to get away from the toxic family. But it's so good because he's really awkward about it kind of at the beginning. He offers him like a bar of chocolate because Tim's currently like, there's reasons, but Tim's badly hormonal right then. And so Bruce produces a bar of like exotic chocolate from like Asia or something. And, it's like dark chocolate. I think the chemical mix is going to be really good for you right now. And also, it's going to get tiger on the front, super masculine. Yeah, hopefully that's okay. Kind of like trying to help, but in like this horrible, like awkward Bruce way. But it's really, really great. And it's a combination of that and then descriptions of Snapchats that he's published back on YouTube that are Snapchats of trying to get Bruce to do normal things, like go to Walmart to buy things,
Nice.
which ends in Bruce convincing the getting banned from Walmart and convincing all the employees at one of the stores to unionize. But while he was there buying goldfish or betas or something like that, like at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's a great series and I highly recommend it. Anyway, sorry, man, I'm in a bad place right now mentally. I'm bouncing all over the place, but I apologize.
That's
but
fine.
It's okay.
It's about what I can handle today.
It's
so
recommendations.
I'm cool
It's recommendations galore
with it.
for all of you. So I guess that's a bonus.
It looks like
I'm
it's
not-
about to rain here, so I'm just like
I'm,
staring out
I'm,
the window.
I'm not mad about it.
I'm also stalling while I'm pulling over some NPCs that I need. So that's.
I sent you guys the Tim video, Mo and Frank.
Oh, right on.
I
Okay.
that way you can check it out.
Oh yeah, it's very
it's a
good.
really good skit. It's amazing.
It's kind of funny, actually, because I found the whole Tim Trans thing to be such a great series, and I sent links. I was playing in my first Mass game at the time, and I was so charmed by the whole series that I sent them over to some of my other, like most of my players that were in that game. Two of my oldest friends here in Denver, and their son was playing in the game also, who was like 17 or 18. I think at that point in time would have been a senior in high school. Unbeknownst to me, was about to transition, and they were going through all of that stuff in their family and hadn't really talked to anybody outside of their family, and were kind of really keeping it on the down low. And then one of their old friends, who they hadn't talked to, sent them a 27 link long email of a whole series about Tim Drake being a trans boy and being adopted by Bruce Wayne while this was all going on. And they're all like, wow. Did you tell him? No, did you who talked to him? How did he? Dumb luck. So yeah, I had their daughter in my game until I had their son in my game, and still one of my longest running players. So that was a wild year. Anyway, but yeah, really just a great series. Love it. Yeah, I should send you some more superhero stuff that she writes, because it's all great, and her takes on DC, on most of the DC heroes that she's ever written about are just fabulous and so much fun. There's one where Clark Kent brings Batman and Diana back to the farm for Christmas, but Bruce won't take his suit off. So there's a picture of them out by the barn where they're all wearing the ugly Christmas sweaters, but Bruce's is on over the suit with the mask still on and everything. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, and Jonathan Kent is trans in that one. That's why they can't have kids. It's really just so many great takes. I like her. I love her DC universe. Anyway, sorry, we're going all over the place, and damn it, I'm in Mo's house. I should be paying attention. Sorry, Mitzi's house.
Yes.
So, I let everybody know that we're going to have a barbecue tomorrow. Whole neighborhood, everyone's going to be over. Be a good time.
Should I also invite? I mean, you know Xiao, right? You remember Xiao?
Sure, bring all your friends.
Okay.
Actually, better if you then you get a mix. You know.
Yeah,
They
and
should
that
bring
there'll
their
be, like-
friends. Bring a +1. It's a neighborhood block party. We're gonna be all over the place.
Okay.
Your uncle might knock the fence down again. This
Oh,
time on
God.
purpose.
Yo.
Just so everybody can walk in and out easier. It'll be fine.
Oh, please no.
You can just walk in and
Okay.
out of the backyard.
And it's just like pulling the pillow off her face and like just like looking at her. She's like, all right.
It'll be fine. It'll be good. You just have to tell them all. You
I don't know
make
if
sure
you're hearing
they.
that thunder, but like it's getting thundery here.
Yeah, it's like wow, that is.
Yeah,
You need
that's
to.
the sound. That's the sound of
off
her,
if
of her uncle like knocking the like fence over.
Oh, look, he's already starting. Great.
Is it raining where you are? Is that
Not yet. It's
got
just
some noise?
some noise.
We've had a lot of smoke. Obviously, they talked about we have a bunch of the
Mhm.
smoke and stuff. So we've had 2 rainstorms the last 2 out of the last 4 nights, and the first one before this, because we knocked quite a bit of the smoke out of the air, I think with this last one. But I tell you what, that first night, that was a show because all the smoke particles up in the sky makes for a lot of. It looked like a paparazzi red carpet. It was just bing, 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 bing. It's constant.
Yeah.
Like flashbulb popping is crazy. All right, so Mitzi,
Yeah.
what you
She's
doing?
once Abuela leaves, unless she's like staring at her to like text her friends and make sure she texts them. She's gonna text all the guys and Zhao. Zhao's like her only like non super friend. Well, first Zhao was her only friend before the team started, and then like yeah, now she's gonna text the guys as well and be like, hey, if you want to come over, we're having a cookout, and I would like y'all to be here. Smiley face
Wait, what do I need to bring?
Oh, Jesus.
Is this on the
If you
group
don't
chat?
tell-
Is
if
it
you don't
individual
tell me,
or
like,
group
pick
chat?
something at
It's the
random.
group chat, yeah.
Okay.
And Mitzi's
you
like, I don't know. I bring whatever.
Oh, don't give me that freedom.
Dad's making carne asada taco, so like, it's a neighborhood thing. So
I have an idea. Okay. All right. Yeah.
okay, cool.
Hey, Doyce.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use my sanctuary to do a thing?
Sure.
I want to make a bunch of dulce de leche cake.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds awesome.
So good.
It's so good.
Is it like more like a tres leches or is it just a dulce de leche?
Oh no, like a tres leches.
Oh my god, yes, tres leches is my favorite.
Like
There you go.
you get so fierce about my favorite.
My favorite is so good.
I wish I could actually make it, but
You don't have. We're not going to do the thing where like when you use the sanctuary to solve a problem, but you have a kitchen there, so that's totally fine.
yeah, cool.
Yeah. You just turn that into a whole thing. Now, do you want to? Do you need help with this? Do you need like?
I'm texting Perry like on his own, and I'm like, I need you to pick up supplies. Here's the list, and I just send him.
I got to get supplies for you. I got to bring gifts for everybody. I haven't met these people before. Okay.
Hey,
Okay,
we're making a cake, buddy. We're making a cake for everybody.
okay, great, awesome. Okay, I'm on it. Just text me
Cool.
the list and
Here's the list.
hunt, gather. I'm on it.
You got this.
Perry's not from this era, so he doesn't know that what you do when you're invited to the cookout is you bring ice, and you just keep it safe, keep it close. This is where you live. You bring ice. I'll bring a lot of ice. That's
Yep.
when you're but no.
And like all like Perry and like I guess Perry's like super excited, like texting back and like what did Perry say to the invite to the cookout? I know y'all had your little side text like
How much time do I have?
till tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. You got a whole day.
Okay, so
24 hours.
so got it. Okay, I can work with that.
Is there like a bunch of like dots and like nothing?
Yeah, that's exactly. That's like that. If you're trying to solve Perry language, you're screwed because the most common letter isn't E, it's ellipsis. So
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
And then like
Oh.
Mitzi will text Xiao, and like I guess Xiao will give her like a thumbs up emoji because Xiao's been over to the house a couple times for cookouts.
what age are your siblings?
Uh,
I mean,
Well, I
yeah.
I
Keep talking.
oh there he is.
Sorry, I
Knock
clicked
it
on
off.
I clicked on the wrong thing. It was very bad.
Oh no!
Did the stream
Uh,
stop, or was that just a
No,
Discord thing?
I popped out of the audio channel. I'm just
Oh,
dumb.
okay.
That's okay. So yeah, Mitzi's gonna text back. LJ's
This is Perry asking because he wouldn't remember. I remember from the chat, but this
Yeah.
is Perry like, hey.
LJ's 20. Julian is in your class and he's 18.
Mm.
And then Elsa and oh, what the fuck is the smaller one called? what are their names?
Twins, right? The
Smaller
twins.
one.
Yeah, the twins are 10.
I was trying to see like if the younger twin was a go-getter and threw papers. Did I end up submitting that to you guys or not? Did he because he was my original idea. He was too little for, so I made that the brother that's older than you,
Mm-hmm.
I think. And then I was like, the little of the twins, the girl goes home and like is super studious and does. I'm just suggesting you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but the boy has already got his eye on some stuff, and so he's hustling and he's throwing papers. And there's one newspaper in town that still has a physical copy, and he's out there, 4 a.m. folding and hucking.
I don't think a
So-
10-year-old will be doing that, but like
I mean, I was working at a grocery store at 10, but I think that's because my parents wanted me out of the house.
So this is how I imagine the group chat is what I just put over in the game text chat is how I imagine this thing. You guys want to come over? Several people are typing.
yeah. Also, Deutsche camera's not on, so
That's because I
Yes.
it's because I jumped out of the thing, maybe.
Yeah.
But did you turn it back on?
No.
Several people are
Several
typing.
people are typing.
But
Yes.
after a while, Mitzi
I
sees
love
that
that.
like Silas isn't texting, and she's like, "Well, okay, like."
So Silas, now I'm not throwing shade at Sean, but I am going to leverage this because it's weird and a little bit worrisome.
Perfect for where they are.
He
and
says
they are.
like, well, no, he's like, I that sounds awesome. I got a family thing, which is, if it's not a lie, is super concerning, and if it is a lie, is really bad. And
Yeah.
Do
because
we know
no
about
one would.
any other family. Wait, do I know about any other family besides Transcendent of his?
That sounds like a move that you would have, actually.
It does. It do.
It do
Do
indeed.
it.
Or, you know, and all this like random.
Investigate the.
Oh shit. He's got a family thing. What the what? I'm gonna need some extra time on these groceries.
It's okay, Perry. We're skipping school tomorrow.
Well, this is like a Saturday thing, so tomorrow is Sunday, and
And we're skipping school today.
I miss you a lot. I think that very first move that you have in there, investigate the timeline.
Yeah.
When roll savior to find out how your investigations into the timeline have been going on a hit, choose one figure you've remembered or one aspect of the future. So yeah, bro, he's got family things. It wouldn't be Transcendent. Who else could it be?
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
So that's a savior roll for you.
Investigate the timeline. I'm just gonna.
Oh, but
put-
you're guilty, so that's actually gonna mess with
Oh,
that.
shit. Okay. Is
Just
it?
telling
It's gonna.
Wait, no. I'm sorry. That's his savior. So no, you're actually you're okay. Your savior
Okay.
isn't super high yet, but it's not penalized.
Right.
So that's good.
Okay.
I don't think. I think you're okay. You guys
If
need
I
to.
get this pop up, where'd the pop up go? Why is the pop-up not?
Why is the pop-up not popping up?
Yeah, it's part of the problem is that I'm still have part of the problem is I don't know how to spoke.
That's fair.
No, I'm still dealing with my better half's machine and my peripherals, so there's a certain amount of screen real estate that I lost because she has. I don't want to screw with her settings, and her settings are multiple screens, and mine is one
Thing.
big one. But yeah. Okay, well, I thought I pressed investigate the timeline, and I assumed that a pop-up was going to pop it up.
So there's
And
the
then
thing. You
it
want to
didn't.
hit the dice next to it. It may not have.
Oh, there it is. I got it. So situational bonus penalty. I'm not altering that, and is
Nope.
a submit.
Ooh, look at that.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
On a 10 plus, the lead is particularly strong right now. You can ask the GM one question about the figure aspect, and they will answer honestly. On a miss, you're lost in the present. Okay, so
Do you have something for this? Because we
No.
can stretch. Okay.
I don't necessarily, but I
Right.
think there's a couple things going on here because what we're kind of toying around with is the fact that some of what Birthright did when he got up into the train and stuff like that wasn't technically physically possible for him. So when he pushed himself,
okay.
he got some level of
Yeah.
activity kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
So he was pinging on my machines
but
where
the
he hadn't
10,
been
the
pinging
10, the lead is
before.
particularly strong.
But I mean,
Your
okay.
probability matrix, you've got about an 85% chance that that what he's actually doing is reading up on. He might be doing some research into Transcendent or some background stuff or something like that. He might have been like very, very high probability that he is freaking out a little bit about the invite to Exemplar Tower, and might be just like neck deep in or eyebrows deep in that stuff.
Right.
We'll loop that back to Sean
Sure.
and
sure.
say,
I think
hey, you
that's
gave.
great.
I gotta be careful. This guy, I don't want to think I'm giving him shade. I'm really not. But I like the idea of him like giving like, I'm sorry guys, I had a family thing, and everyone's like,
I mean,
your family guy is transcendent. What the, dude?
And you hate him, like what?
And you hate him. So like what? And if it's
Listen,
a bad
here's
excuse,
what-
at least come up with
here's
a
a
better
list.
excuse. Like
Here's a list of acceptable bullshit excuses that won't. You just tell us one of these, and we'll know not to bug you about.
I am an unpowered dude who just helped rescue a train. I am in an ice bath for the foreseeable future. Totally believable.
100%.
Yeah.
But you know what? His thumb can only type family thing.
I'm just going with
He's like-
I'm doing nothing but predictive text at this point.
Right,
That's just what
exactly.
it came up with.
I
but
think
yeah,
Missy just sends back like a K.
Ow. Ow.
The shade.
Sean's ears should be burning right now.
Yep.
Oh my
God. Okay. All right. So you're sent a shopping list. It seems like weirdly incomplete, but that's because Revan is also out getting stuff. But there's stuff you can get sort of near where your dad's office is, and stuff that you can't. And you don't know necessarily where Perry's at, but he can kind of get,
I trust Perry to get wherever he needs to get to.
It's
I've
weird
seen him
stuff.
get
Yeah.
everywhere.
So yeah, well that's true. Portals, shopping is easy when you can portal.
There's a reason I'm making him go get everything.
I'll just say, depending on how much time I have, I'm going to shop from my living room and just be like, well, it'd take too long for the order to get here. Thank you.
Yoink.
Yeah.
Leave money on the shelf.
Exactly. I don't think. I mean, if it was for something that mattered, my freak would not be high enough. But for something like this, yeah, what the?
Yeah, we can just do it for background stuff.
Yeah.
It's all good. There's no barriers to overcome, so to speak. All right, so this is happening. Revenant, what do you do differently? So when Perry finally gets to, you kind of give him an address to bring all this stuff, and you lead him up into this thing. Your stuff is definitely not tech. So this whole like watery portal type thing, that is definitely not the kind of tech that Perry would recognize as tech, so to speak. How's your introduction to the space different than how you did it with Mitzi? Or is it different?
So
You know,
it's basically the same.
Okay.
Like
so
it's a little bit different because I actually asked Perry. I'm like, so you knew where my mom's kitchen was. You know where my dad's office is.
Yeah.
Okay, portal there.
Okay.
the office. Clarify.
Yeah, portal to the office.
Isn't it? Okay.
Portal to the office. Okay. I want you to look. There's a closet. It'll be on your left.
You're like
if
walking
facing,
him in.
Yeah, I'm walking him in like while I'm baking. I've got stuff to do.
Your hands like in a mixer, like while you're talking.
Yeah, I'm like
my elbows.
I'm like old school like 90s like sitcom like holding it against my ear like okay.
And the cuttlefish are like cats. So like one of them keeps getting up on the counter and you're like pushing him off while you're talking. It's like no.
Bill, knock it off.
I can absolutely see you with the old school like meat grinder that clamps to the counter to make like the mince. Not that you're making a mince anything right now, but like that I can see that kind of like.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, yeah.
Hand crank like meat. This place is great. I'm like okay, so you'll see a closet that will look surprisingly like the floor in front of it will look like it's been used surprisingly recently.
And just open that and walk through.
Okay. I'm connecting the dots. I think I got this.
From the dad's office, I will mention before you go through the closet. From the dad's office out through that office window, you can see the Sentinel Plaza, or what's left of it, which looks like, a World of Warcraft haunted forest, with the fog and just creepiness and just general miasma sort of hanging over that, and the shadowy outline of like wrecked statues and things of that nature. So that's a fun view.
And the view is definitely of it how it is now.
Yeah, that's out through Dad's office. It's different inside of his thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm giving you that as a contrast to the thing.
Perry being Perry, before he just opens the closet, I'm gonna adjust these bags and stuff that I'm carrying, and like just on the assumption, I'm gonna like knock around for the secret access door first before I try to handle.
It's just a door. It's just a door. It's just a regular door.
Ding 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 ding. Is this bend? Is this bend? Is this a? Is it?
It's just a door.
Still load bearing? Is this a door? Okay.
It's just a door, Perry.
I'm adjusting the bags, and I'm in the hip check, and and I got like the cramp in my fingers because this one store only had the plastic bags, and now I gotta. Okay.
The whole place gives you a bit of weird deja vu being out here in the office, looking out through the window. Kind of a weird, like, this is weirdly familiar, but also weirdly off kind of feeling.
What does it smell like?
The office?
Yeah.
Weirdly wet dog, which doesn't track for any reason. You know what I mean? Like, there's like a dog smell on the carpet.
There's always a dog.
Yeah, there's always a dog. You're not exactly, you're not without like putting some focus into it, able to immediately you can't identify where that sense of offness is coming from. It's not a smell thing. Although it makes sense to me that you would immediately go there. It's like, please God, let it not be petrichor.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. No, not that. Is it the window? It might be the window. It's hard to say. So you're kind of like in this sort of bit of a forgot what I was doing state where you're looking around like, where am I?
I got a lot going on as I'm trying to get through this door.
And you got the bag swinging off your arms. You're kind of it's like, what am I?
I got a can of condensed milk thumping against my shins. Like this is not optimal. This is suboptimal is what this is.
Okay. You know what? Think about it later. It'll be fine. You can think about it later.
This is the kind of thing that I'm going to be percolating in the back of my
Yes.
head, and then at 3 a.m. I'm going to sit bolt upright and go. It
It was
yeah,
it was that dog.
a female deer.
I hate that dog. No. Right. So you guys are in there. So yeah, having this sort of a TV audience thing, having already been as the TV audience introduced to the space, we only see the parts of the introduction to the space that's different for Perry, which in this case is being walked in without like a lot of preamble and stuff like that. And then you open up the door and we don't even see the portal. We see the light of the portal hitting Perry's face and him going, "Oh right, okay, yeah, sure." And then the water sound of him going into the thing. And after that, it's just the cooking and everything. What's the conversation? What's going on when you guys are like working together? Like, what is that like? I want to, because you guys haven't had a lot of. That isn't entirely true. You've done a few things together. But what's this look like with you guys, kind of doing your thing?
There's one thread that's still unraveled, and that is, you've told me why. Sorry, Revenant has told Fractal why he trusts me, but I never actually answered your question. How do I know, like, why can I draw a map of your childhood home?
Are you angling for that answer while you got him here?
Do you need to know that, or are we cool?
We're good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I trust that you have your reason for not telling me.
It's not
One
that
day I want to know, but
you will when it is
time.
I don't want to say safe when it is, because safe is a moving target.
When it's the acceptable levels of risky.
When it's temporarily appropriate.
It's the right kind of risky.
Exactly.
Temporally appropriate. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pretend I understood that, Perry, and I'm just going to have to trust you at this point.
Listen,
Perry, you're too smart for me. We're just going to go there. I don't know what the word temporal means.
Hold on. Whoa. Okay? Like, you can't give a goldfish the same test you would give a kitten and judge them who's smart and who's not on that same metric. You have an outside-the-box, non-Euclidean mode of approaching problems
You're like a Cthulhu problem
that is going to
solver.
break the world open in the best way. And you don't even know. I shouldn't even be telling you this right now.
What? I'm going to keep cooking.
Keep cooking. Are you still writing your lyrics? Are you still writing lyrics?
All the time. If you want to check them out, sign over by the.
No. I don't want to observe it. I'll just fuck them up.
I'm not sure if the observers,
Right.
If the
I don't
observer
know.
thing applies to.
It's quantum entanglement at the very deep level. Just keep the cooking going. Keep the singing. Keep kicking ass. Okay? Keep jamming on some chords. The calluses you don't pay attention to are the ones that are going to be important. Okay?
I actually understood that.
Yes.
Perry,
What?
I'm gonna have you roll to comfort and support.
Tomorrow.
The weirdest comfort and support I think I've ever logged for a mass game. But that doesn't
It's the
stop
best way
anything.
Perry can do it.
Yes, it's the weirdest
I'm
comfort and
actually.
support.
Frank is getting lightheaded right now. Like, that was fun.
So then, because like I was literally like, all of those words mean nothing to Caleb. It's like,
But
sure.
Callous.
What are you? And then
Yes.
he's like, oh, I got that one. Yes.
I understood that reference.
Sweet.
No, so this isn't about like whether or not so much lands as whether or not it's comprehensible
Right.
as much as anything else. So this is a
On the
mundane
board,
role.
it would be,
Yes.
except
Oh
did I comfort or support him with tales of what I think his future will
yes.
Yep.
Go you. Yes. So you
be
would
like?
roll. You would roll superior.
So-
Very good.
Can I? Sorry, it's savior instead of knight.
Sorry, savior.
Yep.
Did I say superior?
yeah,
I
yeah.
meant savior.
Okay, now do I have the same?
No,
So
because
when I look at conditions, am I still looking at conditions for mundane, or am I looking at conditions for savior?
you want to look at this is because the thing is technically, the
I'm still comforting and
conditions.
supporting, right?
Yes, the conditions are meant to affect the move, not the stat. And you don't
Got it.
have you're not angry, so it's not
Nope.
interfering with comfort and support. Now, what you have right now is no, you don't have you don't have a penalty to defend either, do you? No, you don't. You're not insecure, so it shouldn't be fine. You shouldn't. The conditions you have should not interfere with this, even accidentally. So go ahead and roll savior, and you'll be okay. It shouldn't ding you. Debit you.
Oh wait,
Penalize you. How was period?
I think I screwed that up because I was not looking for the. Sorry, there it is. So let me make sure that I was doing the right thing again. Because now I hit the 1 and I didn't see the thing, and so they did the thing. You guys don't need that explanation, do you? Okay.
All right.
We understand.
Honestly, it makes sense.
We're in a mode today. We're in a very special mode. So that is a
Definitely are.
7. And I say we. I think I'm leading everybody down the road here. Comfort and support on the 7.
I mean,
On the
can
hit,
you
they
lead people where they don't want to go?
on a hit they hear you. They mark potential or clear condition or shift labels if they open up to you. So Caleb,
Mhm.
if they open up to you.
If Caleb opens up to me,
Yeah. See, this is the thing. You can comfort and support
I
all
mean,
you
I-
want, but if they stay locked down, I mean,
Yeah.
and Birthright was a pretty good example of that on one of those comfort and supports that Missy threw us away because he was like, yeah, okay, sure, and then left.
Yeah.
And did not.
I mean,
do that.
we've still got 7 other cakes to bond over, but I already feel like I had a very visceral reaction to, oh yeah, I understood that. It's like, oh my God, finally. Simpatico. Like,
I'm going to be
Tock.
honest.
it's like,
The fact that I finally understood something that Perry said, like, I get stoked, and I'm just like, this is gonna be great, man. And I just start cooking, and I'm gonna start teaching him how to bake.
Nice. Which is a lot like chemistry,
Yeah,
if you're a chemist. So yeah, this is happening. This is good. Okay, so Caleb, you can clear condition, mark potential, shift your labels if you want, based on what he told you. So like, if you think that the way he said that stuff means that you would probably have a, like maybe, I don't know, if your mundane goes up, your whatever. However he talked you up, maybe that means that your labels shift instead of you clearing. Do you have a condition? Guilty, maybe? What do you have?
no, I'm still afraid.
Oh, well that, maybe you clear afraid. But maybe you don't because, or maybe for a little while you're not afraid because he's here with you and he's convinced that you've got a future. And maybe that makes you less afraid because he sees that there's a future and he's almost got you believing it. And maybe for a while you actually do believe it.
and I got you an extra tub of frosting.
And mom feels
We're
pretty
not
far
gonna
away
use
right now.
frosting, just so you know, you can just eat that, Perry. That's all you.
Frosting
Oh my
is for
God,
you.
that's
I got the frosting for you.
Let's eat a tub of frosting.
Hey, don't judge me, Doyce. Don't judge me for my bad decisions.
My wife made a birthday cake yesterday and then had she wanted to do 3 layers, but she only had enough mix for the 2 layers, so she doubled it and then took the mix that would have been used for the 4th layer and just made cupcakes. And I'm one of those people who grabs the cupcake and eats it before she puts the frosting on and ruins it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm picturing the dichotomy here. Like Perry just went shopping all over town doing a shitload of portal jumps. So I hand Revenant the here's your frosting, feel better, and then by the light of the refrigerator door, I'm just drinking dill pickle brine straight from the jar to replace my electrolytes. So
My oldest daughter requested that we start binge watching through Doctor Who from the beginning.
Nice.
From the I say beginning, but the beginning of the modern stuff. And there's a bit in there where like the bad guys, one of the aliens is going to be vulnerable to vinegar, like certain kinds of, because it's like calcium or whatever. And they're like, "Do you have any in the kitchen?" And this 20-something male says, "How would I know?" And his girlfriend says, you know, top cupboard on the right of the stove, and like you pull it out, and it's like it's somebody's yelling out what's in there, and it's like it's pickles, pickled something else, and pickled eggs, and he's rattling off all this stuff that's pickled up in the thing. And the doctor turns to his girlfriend's like, "You kissed this man." Reminded me of the pickles thing.
Yeah, that's so good.
You kissed this man.
So I've got a tentacle like coming out of my shoulder, like holding a spoon and just force feeding me frosting as I'm baking.
God. It's a good thing that the cookout's tomorrow,
Exactly.
because you're not going to have any. Yeah. All right. So
part of my comfort and support is just going to be having pockets full of sugar for you, huh? It's like
So on that comfort and support, Perry, I would actually like you to shift my labels.
no shit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
think that'll be fun. That'll make it
you.
interesting.
All right. I
like
shall
it.
head on over and do that. Thank
Take
you.
a look and see what makes how do you see him?
I have no negatives right now. I feel very well rounded, and that doesn't feel right for me.
I should have got
I'll
it
see
back.
what I can do.
I need to get a picture of your Minecraft picture of your
So, by the way, and this is completely off topic, I did that on a survival server. Just so we're clear.
Ooh,
I have
well done.
I have
well
a,
done
I have an
indeed.
underwater house on a survival server. I was very proud of myself when I managed to pull that off, because that was
I know what these words are. Yes.
Basically, the real game instead of doing creative mode.
Okay. Cool.
but being doing it underwater when you're like building a house is a little tricky and I did it without like potions of water breathing or anything like that. So it's an undertaking. Trying to keep from drowning and building the house and
Clearing the water out was the hard part because I only had 2 sponges, so you can only clear out so much space at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Whenever I start working on the Sims again, I will make sure there's space for Sanctuary.
For the sanctuary, got
Yeah.
little goey hole on the side for the thing. Got to have a sleeping bag or a bean bag in there. Could have, oh man, bean bag plus sleeping bag. Best idea or best idea ever?
Best idea ever. Best idea ever. That actually sounds really comfy, and now I'm like, well, next paycheck, I know what I'm investing in.
Human cocoon. Okay. So, do we go straight to the cookout? Or do we have stuff like, oh, I really wanted to talk to my friend, or
Well, I write a post-it on the fridge in the sanctuary that just says, yell at Silas. Like, I'm going to call him. The idea is I'm going to call him and be like, hey, so was that an excuse or did you really have a family thing? And if he opens up to me and goes, well, no, I'm going to be like, okay, just so we're clear, I still love you, buddy.
This mostly, he goes to voicemail initially, but you get one of those immediate bounce backs, like the auto text backs that you can just like go, tell them why you can't answer. And it's like, I can't talk right now. And then another text comes about 25, 30 seconds later, because he picked one quick and then he actually typed something out. God, I don't want to say too much, but I'm kind of in full on mode here.
We can do it next time.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But he's in like, yeah, we'll do a flashback to that. He's like, I'm kind of in full on mode here right now, man. Sorry.
It's okay.
Exclamation point, you know.
Okay.
I had an adult hero in one of my games that would text a lot, but he used a ton of emojis, but they were all like the wrong ones. And but he was effusive with them. And you know, like lightning bolt, eggplant. Yeah, right. It was like lightning bolt, eggplant, car, motorcycle. You know, crying face, and the players spent, I think, 2 sessions trying to figure out what he was trying to say, and they just resolved they eventually just accepted that he didn't mean anything. He was just grabbing the ones that were in there, and yeah. But every single time, invariably, there was always at least one eggplant. And this was
Fantastic.
it was one of the characters' dads, which was not a great look for him. But
That's a little awkward.
Yeah. And he sent it to his son all the time. Smiley face, eggplant, lightning bolt, and they're like, "What are you even doing? What? Why?" And like, "Are you going to explain it to him?" No, I'm not going to explain it to him. Are you kidding me? The only thing worse than him being ignorant about emojis is him understanding them. Anyway, carrying on.
Awesome.
So yeah, he
Hold on, I gotta mute for just a second
No
and
problem.
hop up.
Okay.
So what's the we'll table that, but do we want to jump right to the cookout, or do we have intervening stuff that you want to address, or do you want to talk to your parents, or what do you want to do? I'm looking at Mo. Mo's like, well, I don't want to talk to my parents at all.
Talk to her parents. You think she communicates like does any of that? What? That doesn't happen.
I need to ask this question while we have a moment here. What is on your mic? I know it's a pop filter, but what is it? Because it looks like
it's a beanie.
Is it a crocheted beanie? Because it looks like a
Yeah.
crocheted beanie. That's awesome. I was like,
Yeah, it's.
I have to know.
It likes throwing axes and wants to talk to you about IPAs.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I just came here to play a game and I feel so attacked right now. No, I'm kidding. Conveniently, I don't throw axes, and I don't actually like IPAs, so I'm okay. Andrew looks a little harsh right now.
I don't actually like IPAs, but I do like throwing axes.
I'm
do
sure
like
I
throwing
probably
axes
would.
too.
I think
But I also don't drink, so like.
Yeah, there you go.
But I just like if he looks like he's a hipster.
Yeah,
He's
no,
all a
it's-
hipster buddy
yeah,
now.
like
Absolutely.
Little hipster snowball.
Like wearing
Not a
plaid and like wearing like Timberlands and like.
Okay. So now I want to get a pop filter that's just a Santa hat for my mic.
I use like I have to do a lot of audio recording at work, and my pop filter is I just keep wearing my mask. Because I already have it on.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, you get a little bit muffled, but not much. They're already kind of. I mean, I'm recording into a 3-year-old Blue Yeti. It's not like I'm going to get great audio anyway, but.
Yeah. This
No.
guy's like 2 years.
Mine is, I don't know how old mine is. My friend gave it to me because he's a
Yeah.
good friend.
Good friend.
I've had it for like 6 months. I just broke the cable that went with it and was too lazy to go get a new one until last weekend.
Yeah.
When my friend was like, here, have this cable because I know you've been looking for one and you haven't gone to get one yet. And I was like, don't attack me like that.
How dare you? But thank you at the same time.
Yes, exactly. Oh, it looks like he adjusted my labels.
Oh, what do you do?
My freak got knocked up, which, okay, that kind of makes sense. And my superior got knocked down. And I'm totally down for this.
It's nice. I like that. Are we taking a little break right now? Is that what's
Sorry,
happening?
I had to go get a drink. We can take a break real quick. I was letting you guys go.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I'm probably gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Let's do
so-
that.
Yeah, let's take a minute.
Let's take a short one.
Okay.
I'm going to take this minute to say, Will, we really appreciate your company. It's nice to have somebody there on the stream and also point out when the audio is not good. I have, in fact, recorded entire shows and not gotten the audio entire sessions and not gotten the audio from everybody else and not realized it until afterwards. So I always appreciate when people call that out. So thank you if you're still watching.
My basil is sprouting. I'm so excited.
Yay.
I started a little herb bar earlier this week, and like basil's starting to sprout.
Mitzi doesn't have any conditions. That seems wrong.
I got rid of insecure because I got close to the team last time.
Oh.
I was able to.
Perry's a hot
knock that
mess.
Meet him. Drink.
Thank you. Yeah, no, always a mess.
I mean, a little bit. Not too bad. Guilty
I don't
and
know if you know, right before I hopped up, my wife came back over to do a thing, and so we had to connect for a sec. But I don't know if you noticed, but because I've been in the booth for a very long time, I just happened to tuck my leg up under the chair the exact wrong way, and then Charlie horse. I was like, "What?"
Oh.
It's like, stretch the hamstring. It's like,
I get
so. You get them from running. I get them from sitting in a booth for too damn long.
And sitting for me is like a whole thing. That's why I have a standing desk, if I do that. But I get fascillations, I think is how it's pronounced. I get a little weird. Looks like I like the individual muscle strands will like twitch while I'm not doing anything.
Yep.
It's like little mini cramps. I get those a lot.
It's really disconcerting when it's in like your lip or your eyebrow.
It's all in my legs. I sit there and watch them while I'm watching TV and stuff. They'll just be.
I think you've been a TikTok about that.
Yeah, I made one.
I'm not stalking you. I just happen to see everything.
I do. So post a little bit. It's fair.
Actually, I need to thank you. I'll be in my bunk. Regarding the
Ryan Reynolds.
And then, that was directly responsible for the riff I did on it yesterday. So
I mean, Ryan Reynolds chokehold.
Yeah.
It's like somebody had to make that joke, and nobody else was.
Right.
So Mo was sitting here being
I
horrified by
loved your
both of us.
reaction. I loved your reaction to my like, Frank.
Oh yeah, that one. I was like, oh my god.
That one. Yeah.
I was
I
like,
mean,
what are you talking about, Frank? Oh,
What did I miss out on?
We're
Frank.
gonna loop you in on one of these games pretty soon. I don't. I think this game is a very very good size for me. I've run it with one more player, and I always feel like somebody ends up not getting enough time. So 4 feels like a really good size for PC players. But we're gonna get you in one of these guys, or you know, we'll get Mo GM. We'll get somebody good. I'm bummed I missed Alice's missing thing, but we were busy like with the horrible.
I'll run it again soon. It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's good. I want to do. I love the idea of it. I love the. But yeah, there's a lot. The Power by the Apocalypse stuff. Will is this is it's all kind of in this thing. Although I will say the Magpie games. I like their flavor of Power by the Apocalypse. I love their zombie world stuff. I haven't had a chance to run it, but it seems like it'll be really like it could be really good. Uh, I would say Monster Hearts is too dark for my players, but after last night, I am going to refrain from that judgment because holy crap, the hell are my kids doing? My girls, those have not. They've been in this. See, they've been in a mass game now, and it feels longer than it is. But they started playing that at the end of their 7th grade, and they're juniors now.
You bring in Monster Hearts. I need to put that on my schedule for a game that I'm playing in. We're scheduled in September, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot. Let me put it in my calendar.
But they've been playing like the same mass game for like 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. But the pandemic, so it's only been like 30 some odd sessions. But I've had watching those kids grow up playing masks, honestly, a little bit, and that's been awesome.
So one of my favorite things about Magpie games, I live in the same city as them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
I'm excited. I kind of want to put out one of those bigger talk things saying, listen, if you guys have backed the Avatar thing and you want to get a sense of what that game is like, first of all, hit me up because I'll run it. They got that the play, like the quick play thing. It's like 35
The quick
pages.
start, yeah.
If you have that and like background with one of their other games, it wouldn't be that hard to run. But honestly, if you want like a preview of what their games feel like, Masks it feels like it's gonna be pretty close. City of Mist, I played in City of Mist. I actually got to play a demo, sort of. I played like one of the demo scenarios for City of Mist with one of the demo characters, and it was a lot of fun. I feel like it would be a lot. I would not want to GM it. I feel like there's a lot of moving parts that I wouldn't necessarily enjoy, but as a player, I enjoyed the crap out of it. I was very lukewarm on the game when it came out because I like Powered by the Apocalypse. I like the guys who made Fate, which means I want to like Fate. I love Rob and Fred, and I've known them through the internet for over 20 years. I don't like running Fate, and City of Mist is like as a mix of those two things. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this, and somebody else running it, it was awesome. I don't think I'd ever want to run it, but it's a as a player, I enjoyed the crap out of it, and you'll enjoy. I think there's some stuff in there that you will really enjoy that feels a lot like some of the stuff that you see in this type of game too. So, yeah, I'll be running more stuff. I can kind of almost always run masks. Although I will admit that part of my scatteredness is I had really gotten my head set on the exemplar tower thing. Not exemplar tower. Exemplar tower?
Yeah, Exemplar Tower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons I was cranking out figs so much this week.
And then switching gears a little bit has left me a little bit scattered. Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. Go ahead.
The daughter and friends who have been playing that same mass game with the same NPCs that we've encountered, because it's your version of House on City, or different ones?
No, it's different. They're kind of in a weird like one of the players got to watching the podcast or listening to the podcast of the original game. So she really wanted the people in there. So sort of like variants of those people are at a different high school in the same See, but it's not really.
Okay.
There's a little bit overlap there, and there's some stuff that
Mhm.
like, oh, so and so was there at this particular scene or something like that. Like, so it's kind of like a little bit of fan stuff. It's definitely a different thing. They're doing a straight up. There's one of the source book things for masks has this thing called Phoenix Academy, which is sort of like a play set for the setup,
Mhm.
and it's like totally like there's an island out in the bay, and it's got the super powered high school on it, and everybody's a super and that kind of a thing, and that's what they decided to do, and it's been a lot of fun, but it's definitely its own thing. We're not well they're the big adult superhero group is this gigantic O-shaped building for oversight. And
Right on.
Patrol is in that group. Patrol's in
Okay.
that group, but the main hero in that group is Brahma, Blue Brahma, who is a big blonde
Paul Bunyan kind.
Southern American,
Yeah.
Tennessee American dude who named himself after, uh, an an Indian
Yeah.
god, and
Oh, I was thinking Brahma Bull, not.
well, and
But
that's the
sure.
thing is like, well, he's a big, strong guy anyway, and people are like, you sure that's appropriate? And he goes, well, yeah, I mean, I'm not Indian, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
It's not offensive because I'm not Indian. So since I don't believe in their religion, it's not a problem,
Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah, his takes are bad
Right?
takes. His takes are
That's-
very bad
that's-
takes.
Correct.
For much the same, or the on the opposite side of that coin is why Tatanka is probably the last of your NPCs that I'll build. So-
And Tatanka, I will say that there's actually a TikToker that I think of more, like, because you could very easily go
I was gonna do
way
like
off on him,
I was gonna
and
do like guy in a baseball T-shirt and a trucker's cap, like all of the activists, all of the water protectors that I follow are like, you know what I mean?
yes, yeah,
That's kinda what I was
honestly,
thinking, yeah.
and with a good
I'm
look.
not gonna put him in buckskin and a feather.
Yeah, with a
so-
serious Lakota
Yeah.
accent. Like in my money, he's like this really, really big guy who talks like a buddy of mine who used to be a radio announcer on KINA radio that broadcast off one of the reservations in South Dakota. Except and it's hard for me to say it because it's pronounced when he says it KINA.
Nice.
It's Joe.
So,
Hey,
Joe Monte.
real-
I'm broadcasting an afternoon show on KINA, and it's all one. It's all like it's a 2-syllable word.
Real quick, can you send a message to your missus for me? Just
Yes.
tell her I said thanks for letting you come out and play today.
I don't know if you heard that, but they would like to say thanks for letting me come out and play today. What's up?
I'm gonna go to the store and get the stuff on the list.
Okay. Her mom's going to drop off paint.
Okay.
More paint. Kelly asked for some specific colors, and she offered cups, and I said, "Don't bother. We got it. Cool. All right. I'll be done pretty quickly, I think.
Okay, never mind.
What's that? No. All right. Hi.
Hello.
We're still prepping birthday stuff, so that's probably also part of my scatteredness because.
oh yeah.
Dude, I pulled an all-nighter. Like I said, this is
12
exactly what I can handle.
12,
So,
12
I'm
16-year-olds are coming over, and we're starting off with a
Oh, God.
acrylic pour. So we're setting up like 12 canvases for them to do acrylic pours over in the backyard.
That's cool.
And sort of like you get out canvases and you literally just make art by pouring paint over it, like in different
Thank you
ways.
for reading my brain, Doyce.
What's that?
Thanks for reading my brain. I was like, I don't know what these words mean.
Yeah, they're doing like, how do you like if your daughter really likes art and you want and she wants all of her friends to make art? What kind of art can they make if they don't know how to make art? Acrylic pours, and it looks flipping cool as hell
They
afterwards.
Yeah.
look amazing.
Yeah,
So
and
cool.
yeah,
That's
So
awesome.
good.
and then we'll just let them cook under the deck we got like a space under the deck that they can just kind of hang out and dry for a couple days, or we can grab the.
Nice.
So I went and got like the whole thing with me carrying the boards yesterday was me getting some 2x12s that we can lay out on bricks at about knee height.
You weren't carrying boards. You were walking the plank.
I was walking the planks. Yeah.
Exactly.
I laughed for like 5 minutes straight and just left it on loop because I
She
could
did
not
that.
stop laughing at you.
I said you keep this up, you're not going to make it to 16. So
You did this.
I learned
You
it
have
from watching you.
exactly.
Yeah, all right.
It's so
All right.
good.
So Mitzi,
All right. Yes.
Yes.
For the last day, Abuela has been on the phone a lot. In her
She
room.
talks so much to all her friends. Yeah.
Just let them, just tell them. And there's a little bit, there's stuff going on. She's up to something, is Abuela.
Yeah.
You have suspicions. You have, not suspicions, doubts. You have your spider sense, your Abuela sense is tingling. What are you gonna do about that? Do you confront Abuela about what she's up to, or
Can I
eavesdrop on
peek?
her?
Can I peek in?
Now, do
In
you
her brain?
peek? Okay. So
Because it's just gonna be like, oh, she won't know if I just take a look.
the reason I had this sheet, I'm just going to mention this real quick. The reason I had this particular screen up, Perry, is you have guilty and hopeless, and there's a way to get rid of these things by doing some of this stuff that's on the card. Like for guilty, make a sacrifice to absolve your guilt. So maybe going and getting all the gifts for everybody. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I was
thinking of doing it because it's the polite thing to do. If it also helps me feel less guilty, then great.
I feel like one of these. Let's put it this way. I feel like one of these two things. With all what you're doing right now, either you can categorize this as making a sacrifice to absolve your guilt, or flinging yourself into easy relief. I'm not going to think about all of my crap right now. I'm going to help Caleb cook.
Yeah.
And
I'm
bake.
helping cooking, and I'm buying
and I'm not thinking about stuff, and I'm not going to think about the thing I remember about Birthright. I'm just going to let that kind of percolate. I'm just going to tune all that out when I could maybe probably be doing something. And that, so pick one of those and clear a label as what you're doing during all of this stuff. Meanwhile, Mitzi, hi.
Hello.
Why don't you unleash your powers? That sounds like a really risky thing to do. Like, unleash your powers in the direction of Grandma, Abuela.
This is my good luck dance for you.
When you unleash your powers to overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment, or extend your senses. Now, you could instead pierce the mask, which is on mundane. It's kind of how you want to see it. Because if you're doing,
it's not. But she's not doing it in a mundane fashion.
Yeah, you're not. You're not really doing it in a mundane fashion. I mean, you could always color stuff with your powers, however it is. It feels more like you just kind of picking up on what she's got going on with the freak. It certainly feels like it.
Yeah.
Was that beep? Was that a beep of a roll?
That's Perry's. Accidentally.
Okay. When I toggled away, it beeps. When I'm toggled away from that screen, and it's very useful for me.
Sorry, I'm about to hit send one more time. I just didn't want to mess up your guys' combo.
It's all right. You do the thing. So yeah, unleash your powers. Extend your senses.
Okay.
Violently lose control of your
I'll
powers.
let Frank do what he's doing first, and then I'll do my roll.
Hit the thing. It's all right. I gotta get a.
Frank, what are you typing?
How much trouble are we in? I gotta grab a few pictures here. Now that I think about it. Oh, that's not in the right place. Let's get that. Oh wait, no, that is. I was like, there's a picture of Clarity in my villains folder. Why is that? Oh wait, no, actually, that one makes sense to be in there.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we saw that. I saw that.
Perry,
I have not looked.
Somebody, I think it was actually Sean, did a. This is my take on the vision that Revenant had of evil Clarity, and did like a flipping out, like destroying the city Clarity that was pretty good. So I just filed that over, and that Yeah, Sean sent it
Not
over
this-
to me, and he's like, I don't know. I didn't know if you wanted. It's like, no, I'll just be saving that. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. I might need it.
Thank you. That's awesome.
This is what you see. Oh no. All right, what do we got over here? I'm uploading.
Yeah, 9.
Nice. That's even a 6 and a 1. Love it. All right,
So
that's okay.
unleash. Yeah.
Unleash. That's good. So unleash your powers. Tell me how it's unstable, or well, how that reads is on and 7 to
doesn't-
9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the infect is unstable or temporary.
Mhm.
I could see guilty, but you could also go with temporary, like you're just gonna get a little kind of a flash kind of a thing.
I think it's more of a flash.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
that's fine. You're not like tuned in. And that's opening yourself up for this kind of stuff is kind of hair raising in your household.
Yeah, and also she tries not to do it in general, just so it's like one of those things like, okay, I'm just gonna peek for a second. I don't want to like overstep my boundaries. I'm just gonna do a quick glance.
Yep. So I'm gonna hang on here. I'm pulling in some stuff. And one more upload. I want to give you the appropriate. There she is. Yes. Okay. This is funny. Freehand. Yellow thing here. I'm drawing a thing with my really good art skills that I've already talked about before.
Oh
And-
yeah.
Awesome.
And I will bring everybody in here so you can see my lovely art.
Okay. What?
This
Whoa.
what the crap?
Abuelita brought in the OG crew.
What the?
She's doing something that involves reaching out to supervillains?
Like they're supervillains?
Super criminals? You're not sure you've even heard of these guys before?
Oh God.
Maybe you kind of remember the snapping turtle, but that was like that's a long time ago. It was like a historical thing that you were watching, or she was watching on TV one time, and she was like complaining about the accuracy. Like that was not what it was. He was never doing that. It was always about this and this kind of thing. But yeah, you don't think she's calling them specifically, but she's doing something. She's doing something with like I think you'd probably go and talk to her. That's your takeaway from this is like, Abuela, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think with that, I'm just gonna like walk in and like open the door and be like, "Abuela."
And she's like, hang on. 1 second. What did I
Getting
do?
props out. Is that what's going on?
I need props, but I also need this thing here. 1 second. Yeah. She turns to you like this, like, Simon, I have to call you back. Yes?
And I think Mitzi's gonna like shut the door behind her, like with a flip of the finger, and like cross her arms, and she's like, "Who are you talking to, Abuela?"
Old friend. Just catching up. I don't have anything to do. I just I call friends. I socialize. I'm a very social person.
Okay, who are these?
You were
friends
bringing your
that you
friends
say
to the
you
cookout.
have?
I thought I would invite a friend over to the cookout. Just a old friend of mine. Old friend.
Are these friends from back in the day, Abuela?
What makes you think that?
Abuela! I see right through you. That's why.
I think you are spying on me is what you're doing.
I am not spying on you.
I thought that if my granddaughter could see her daughter fighting a bad guy and doing a really good job at it, they wouldn't worry about you so much.
Are you setting up a fight?
I just wanted I thought maybe if I just let a couple of my old
Abuela!
what do you call them? Frenemies?
No!
Let them know where I live, then they would come, maybe they would drop in and
We're gonna break their hips. I'm sorry.
That's so wrong. That's so wrong.
Oh my god. Okay.
You're all welcome for that.
That's so good.
Abuela, I can't. No. No, Mom already thinks I'm like a terror as it is. Don't.
The snapping turtle is very scary. You'd look very good. He would destroy that back fence.
Also, LJ, Julian, and the twins don't know about this. They don't.
They know you have powers.
No, they don't.
I mean, I think they do. You should probably.
I never told them. I never done it around them. Like
You don't realize how often you use this, do you? Because you are. Believe me.
And
they
then she
know.
looks down. She realizes she's floating like an inch off the ground, and she's like, and then she like puts herself back on the ground.
I'm not going to say you're never not doing it, but if anybody ever glances in when you're doing, especially when you're doing art and you're listening to music and your headphones are on, please.
No,
Your bed-
that isn't.
Your bedroom looks like a carousel.
That's why I always keep my door closed. Also, my room's a mess. That's why.
And you know what? The twins respect your privacy so very much, and you know.
Oh no! Have they been going through my stuff?
No, I'm just saying they open up the door and without knocking, and they see these things happening. Don't worry, I've talked to them. It's fine. It's fine. It's
They
fine.
probably think I'm possessed by a demon.
No. They think you're cool, like you're abuela. I
Have
am
you
very
talked to them
cool.
about it?
Oh yeah. They know. They know I have powers. They know you have powers. You're the cool big sister now. You were a cool big sister before. Now you're
I'm
a cool
the
big
only
sister.
big sister.
Yeah, but you weren't cool before. Now you're cool. So that's a no on the supervillain fight in the backyard.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't want to destroy the neighborhood. Why?
Then you would just stop them from doing that.
Who's gonna stop us from doing that? I don't have the best handle on this.
That's actually a pretty good point.
Huh?
I was gonna
Some-
have him come in from
someone smart.
I was gonna have him come in from the Northbridge, and then it would just come
Park?
through the park, but it would only come through Abe's house, and we don't like him.
Yeah, Abe's kind of like an asshole.
And he's got insurance. Maybe we get rid of that hot tub that he's got.
Oh God, him and his.
Wouldn't have to watch him walking out there and his.
He needs to put up a privacy.
No
fence.
man that age should wear speedos. That's all I'm saying. I have opinions. I can have opinions. I can have all the opinions I want. No one can
you
stop
have
me.
a lot. You have all the opinions. But...
All right.
No, it just what? Oh.
Fine, I will tell people not to. I mean, one of them already knows, but he's not going to come and attack on his own. It'll be fine.
Also, I don't want to hurt. Aren't they like mad old?
I mean, I don't know if
Are
it's
they in
probably
retirement?
it's no. It's some of them are weird things. People with powers, they age different, and some of them I think it's like their grandkids in the suit, that kind of thing. It's fine. She's still thinking about this guy though. Move him over here. Get him over. There's a little.
Scarlet
Whoop,
song.
whoop, whoop, whoop. Got the wrong thing. There we go. That's better.
And I think she's looking at her and she's like, "Did you have a crush on him?"
I have some respect. I am too old to have crushes.
No.
He might come to the cookout anyway. Maybe he has crush on me.
Oh my
You don't know.
Why are you like this?
Anyway, she's being all prim and proper now. You go. I'm not going to. No more attacks. It'll be fine. I won't do anything. I won't make any. I won't make sure that the party is interesting. I'll just let it be boring. Be fine.
Oh my god, you sound so disappointed. I'm sorry that I don't want you destroying the neighborhood. And also, I don't want to, like, show my powers off to anybody.
I
That's-
don't.
what?
I mean, to be fair, the Torrid Typhoon would probably be. I mean, she's been a bitch, but
Okay. All right.
I have
and
to
think-
maintain. I have to maintain Abuela at the top of the NPC chart. I just have to make sure that that continues to happen. So.
And I think as she's
Oh,
backing
yeah.
out, she's pointing at her and she's like, "No, what you doing?"
I'm not. It's. I promise. Hand
The door's
heart.
like shutting
Hand to heart.
behind. The
I love you, Mimi.
kids.
Thank
I
you.
love you too.
It's the best way to answer that. Oh.
And I think she's texting the guys at that point. She's like, "You will not believe what I just."
Did
What?
you though?
Yeah, she's texting him, and she's like, "He was trying to set up a. My abuela was trying to set up a fight for us."
With who?
Since when have we needed help with that?
Yeah, we can start. We don't need the help. Who's she trying to get us into a fight with?
Oh, do y'all know? Do they know? Have I told them?
I don't
No.
About
know.
Abuela?
I don't think
Not a
so.
clue.
I don't think
Perry
so.
might, but I don't.
I think she texted in the group text. She's like, "My abuela's indigo girl."
Question.
Officially, I didn't know that.
Question.
Yeah.
Who's Indigo Girl?
You could send her like
Oh,
You can send her like there's a picture like a black and white of her with like a super group from like
yeah,
Would've
I
been like
sent a
the-
photo.
like the 50s.
Hmm.
Dude, she's rocking that costume.
Oh my god, that's my grandma. Caleb.
So good.
And
So wrong and yet so right.
Flash that I did this.
also, she's the one that kind of accidentally threw Silas through the first time we fought each other in the park.
Say that again?
Yeah.
She
She
what?
has a statue in the park. Yeah.
Oh, her. Wait. Hang on.
And you could actually look out the window and see like the original statues and stuff. And that one's one of the ones that was one of the ones that came into like super good focus after she was there.
Oh. That's cool.
Yeah, so she's getting in touch with the old enemies? Question mark, question mark. Confused emoji.
Is she trying to get us to fight like old timey villains?
The
That sounds like a bad
the
idea.
Scarlet Songbird.
Wait. I mean,
The Scarlet Songbird was once one of the leading villains of Halcyon City, a thief with a sense of the dramatic and plenty of flair. Time made him irrelevant. Now he's just trying to keep some of the limelight. He
Like,
was
how
like,
old is he? Like, which era is he from?
oh, he's Golden Age, you know. So
Oh,
he's
he's
like,
Golden
he's
as
like,
well.
he's like a boy. They're all golden. I grabbed a bunch of Golden Age ones. You can tell from the background they put gold backgrounds on them.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's gold backgrounds. There's silver backgrounds. The silver ones are the ones to be scared of. Those guys are fucking terrifying. The Silver Age guys are pretty crazy. The Bronze Age ones are sort of that Punisher era, and then the ones with the static backgrounds are the ones that are a little bit much more contemporary. So like Facet that you guys dealt with, and Troll, and those guys are like sort of more modern or weird. You get weird ones with like really weird powers. Like one of them is like one of the ones they did in there is like somebody's basically immune to all damage, but they're trapped in the body of a cat.
Oh my god!
And
All
they
I, can
just
think of, all I can think of is the movie Hocus Pocus and the cat Binks.
no, it's like
yeah.
and it, like literally their villain name is Cat. Um,
That's amazing,
like
and I'm super happy about this.
it's just Cat.
Gosh, that's
I
awesome.
love it.
That's
Yeah,
so
so
amazing.
yeah, so she's like, yeah, apparently it's like all her old frenemies that she's trying to set us a fight with. And she wants me to show my parents my powers, like my full potential. And apparently my siblings know, and I didn't realize that they knew. And and she's like starting to like go off on sentences, and she's like sending a paragraph at this point. Like, actually, no, it's not a sentence. It's like one of those like texts every 2 seconds
Yeah.
of
Oh
like
yeah.
line by line.
You're multitasking.
That's like a big chunk of like
Zoop,
6 texts at one
Zoop,
point.
zoop. And your phone's just gonna be.
Oh, I just don't even like do anything. I just am holding it up, watching this all. Like, I don't even close the phone. I'm like, okay, let this keep going. And then once she stops, I'm gonna send her a picture of Bill just cuddling on the beanbag.
Oh.
Everyone, just calm down. We're all good. All right.
So here's my concern: is that like either they're going to show up with something to prove because they haven't put their tights on in so long, and we're going to be checking our swings because we don't want them to break a hip, or they're going to be rolling over to make it look good.
Oh, they
For
definitely wouldn't do that.
Lolita, and then like they wouldn't. Okay,
I guarantee.
I
I
have-
guarantee they wouldn't roll over. But she
I
says
have
she's not gonna call
concerns-
him now.
I have concerns on multiple levels.
It'll be fine. She says she's not gonna call him now.
She says she's not gonna call him. However, she did give this song boy, something. Oh, what was his name again?
Simon. That's who she was on the phone with when you.
Simon, the Scarlet Songbird, or
Yeah. She says, Simon, I have to call you back. He was in the room there.
apparently he knows and he's already coming. So
Okay.
just
So-
be on the lookout. And...
So. I
And
know.
think
I
this is,
know.
like,
I know not a lot happened in this episode, but I have to tell you, I am so proud of that scene with her right now. That's top 10 for me
So
all
good.
time.
It's good stuff, man.
All right, so
Okay.
so here's what I'm gonna do because we're coming up on 2, and I do need to I need to go and make sure that all the birthday stuff is in.
You have a stuff.
I
man.
have stuff I need
Yeah.
to do, but here's what I want to do with the cookout because I don't know if you guys have ever like read the Matt Fraction like Hawkeye comics, but what they do some really nice stuff in that comic with silence, or I should say panels without speech, just showing stuff.
Mhm.
So I just want a couple of I want a panel for each of you guys of like what capture a moment at the cookout, like a snapshot. Capture a moment at the cookout. Preferably without showing off your powers, since it's that kind of a thing. But whether it's a food thing or just who you're hanging out with or any of that kind of stuff. But what is capture me a moment at the cookout? Mitzi, you want to start?
I'm thinking.
Okay. If you got something else, somebody else has something else, you jump in. I've got one, but I'm gonna save it for towards the end. Go ahead.
Okay, then Perry shows up with his coat bulging more than you've seen it bulge before. And he's got a tote bag and a plant, a house plant. That's for the home, which he's going to give to what he perceives as the matriarch, which is clearly Abuelita Indica. So she gets the beautiful house plant, and
Gives you the
Perry
little-
goes completely over the top. You're too cute. And we can bond over her, jewelry. Maybe we have some of the same kind of metals. I don't know. But every sibling and every person that Perry knew was going to be there, without going overboard on the research of if this is like a Nexus event or not. but like for the little ones, there's like little Lego keychains, and you know and my classmate gets this bitchin' mechanical pencil that's like stainless steel that
Nice.
we can jam on in our physics class and whatever.
Nice.
I haven't come up with something specific for the dad yet, and that's really important. So, Perry definitely has something. Frank hasn't figured out what it is yet. So that's where I'm at right now. But basically, it was something for the family members, and on the
You get something
on
grill
the-
related for dad, like
something which related. I'm
something
sorry?
grill related. I don't know. maybe
Okay,
that-
yeah, it's an apron, and it says, "Who invited all these tacky people?"
I love it. It's really good.
And then um, there was something else in my head just now, and it. Oh, on the assumption that what's your buddy's name? Zhao.
Joe.
Yeah, Xiao. She's one of Mitzi's only friends, and like in the science class with her.
Yeah. And I would have seen you palling around together at like between
School.
classes or
Mhm.
at the wherever you hang out at the etc. On the assumption that they're going to be there, and it would be rude not to have something for them. It's clear that at this point in the shopping process, Perry was like, shit, 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 shit. And this was either on an end cap or like an impulse buy thing.
Mhm.
But it's like a little personal grooming object that nobody would buy for themselves. And it's like a little thing to make like the calluses on your feet softer. It's like a powder or something, or maybe you're
God.
supposed to put it in water and soak in it. And I'm like, this.
Oh, it's like a bath,
it's
like
for
a bath bomb or something like that, but for
bath.
feet.
This is good for if you've been walking a lot, or you want to have pretty toe. Oh Jesus!
It's amazing.
God.
It's so cute.
And then
She's like-
I'm standing there, like,
Thanks. She kind of comes over to you a little bit. It's like they're kind of helpless, aren't they?
and then
It's just-
like
not where you can
as
hear that,
syrup-
Perry, but
as surreptitiously as Perry can, as his face goes white as a sheet, he like backs himself, into a polite corner, and then just like creates a portal, reaches around for something, and comes out with something for Mitzi, which he clearly did not have when he walked through the door.
That's amazing.
What is the thing for Mitzi that you just randomly pull out of the portal?
It is a fully assembled Lego bonsai cherry tree.
Oh, that's cute.
which
Okay.
is
And
you know
and the closer you look at the little pink frogs, which are the cherry blossoms, the more complicated they get.
oh my god,
This is for you.
it's a fractal
terrifying.
Lego.
I mean, I think so.
That explains so much.
Fractal Lego. That's great. My God. Caleb, what's your little like
Okay.
snapshot thingy?
So I have
you
like
showed up with the food.
well, yeah. So I anticipate like I visualize it as like 3 separate just like images,
Mm-hmm.
and the first one is he's carrying like 7 full cakes, like by himself, kicking the door, like to knock because he doesn't have hands, like just full on like.
This tall, lanky, like punk kid with a mohawk with all these cakes.
Oh my God.
So good.
There's
Oh yeah.
there's a lot to unpack there for anybody who's just meeting Caleb. There's a lot going on there.
Yep. And I'm kind of hoping it's Abuela who answers the door first. It's just like
She would not
Who
be the
is-
one answering the door. She would not be. Not to burst you, not to
I can hope.
spike your wheels
I can
on that one,
ask.
but she's not gonna probably answer the door. That's not where. That's not her
Yeah.
job. She doesn't
It's
have
probably
a
one
job.
of it's one of the twins.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just when they're just like, what did you bring? And then the next image is all of the like young kids like tackling like Caleb.
Out
Like
in the
they're all
backyard.
like out in the backyard just wrestling with him and just like running around.
Yeah.
And then the last one is him and Abuela eating cake, and he's just like waiting for her to try it. Like just waiting to get her opinion on it. Like
Like this, the frozen, like she's eating, but he's not actually next to her. He's like he's like in the background, like
yeah.
while she's up in the foreground. He's like,
Yep.
it's pretty good.
That's
We
it.
don't-
That's
I love
those
it.
are the, like yeah, so whatever
I love
happens
those-
after that.
I love those little snapshot moments. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and I think one from Mitzi is that she sees Simon come in, and there's just like a look of like, I know who the fuck you are.
And he's dressed up. He's totally doing like the silver fox thing. He's being nice. He doesn't know the dad, but he knows the mom. He knows your mom.
Mhm.
You know, they kind of like it is. You know, it's Simon. Yes, Seagram. Thank you very much. It's lovely to be remembered. And he brings he's got like a little little gift for the lady of the house, shakes the manly hand, you know, and he comes in and he comes over and, you know, little waves here and there, and he comes in, but he sees Abuela and it's like, and he's like coming in the thing, and he basically spends the entire thing like sitting next to her, murmuring little things occasionally, and her like, and you could tell whatever he's doing is very flirty because he's every other time that he says anything, she's like kind of like she laughs first and then slaps his hand like you're awful, that kind of a thing, and that's but she's in a great mood.
We've all called her Abuela, but her name is actually Maria Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably just calls her like Maria for short or
Yeah,
something.
probably.
Yeah.
He is very charming. You know, he's you know, the little thin mustache. You can see the picture. You know, he's got the little thin mustache. He's got the silvery hair. He's still clear. He came in with a guitar case. Every time he reaches for it, she like, and he's okay.
Yeah, I think the scene is like Mitzi's like eating her taco, just like watching them. Just like
very suspiciously watching Simon.
yeah.
He's
I don't.
he's one of those. He's kind of like one of those. I mean, if you and I'm sure you would have like gone and looked him up or so. He's one of those sort of charming, super villains. Super villains.
Yeah.
You know his magical music, charming people. He's like the Pied Piper, except he can put people to sleep too. You know, that kind of a thing. So it's more of like, you know, a caper thief. You know, get into the right place and then put everybody to sleep and then walk out with the jewels kind of thing.
Yeah.
And was well known for it. If you ever watch, he reminds me a little bit of oh god, there's a very short-lived villain in My Hero Academia called the Gentleman something or other, and he's just like, it's very dapper, that kind of a deal. Anyway, so yeah, Mitzi kind of suspiciously, not even really tasting the stuff that she's eating, but like very suspiciously watching this guy who's like glomming on her grandma. And that's
And then like every time they get like extra flirty, she's just like scrunches her face. I'm like, oh, old people flirting.
Caleb offers to like put laxatives in Simon's cake every time she like winces at his flirting.
He'd probably
Just
thank
like-
you. I mean, honestly.
But I got her back. I'll get in trouble. It's fine.
Whenever Abuela catches your look, she kind of shrugs with like, what? You know, kind of a.
We're just friends. He's an old friend. Abuela, you know damn well what you're doing.
If she could make like a little halo thing around her head and just say, I'm being perfectly good, kind of, that would be what she was doing. That's the look, for sure. Okay. So that's where we're going to. It's a weird little session, but we're gonna leave it here with you guys having had a little bit of a thing and missing, and probably the last scene. Oh, there was something I was gonna do and I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah. I don't know that we're I don't want to say anything about what Birthright's doing, but we'll try and nail that down in between, or something. Um, we see a couple more little shots of you guys, like, a couple of people sitting around and arms around each other and singing and playing with the kids, and the three of you like walking out, or well, not the three of you, but the two of you like walking away and like waving as there's people at the front door, like waving back, and you're like, waving as you're leaving, and then you two kind of like, little kind of a fist bump thing and going off your separate ways in the evening, and Caleb returning to his sanctuary, and Perry going back down into his thing, and taking all his stuff and sacking out. Quiet, one quiet shot of him, like where are we at here?
In Perry's little research
Perry's
bunker
little
with the cot.
Perry's little
Yeah.
place. Perry's place. Where's Perry's place?
Mary's place.
Yeah. Sacked out on the the cot of the bunk bed or something like that, and
Yep.
flip open to the last page of the comic, and it's another full shot of the thing. The clock, like one little, like the old digital clock up on the wall, up on the desk or something like that, says like 2 a.m. Perry sits straight up. There's too many statues. That's where we're gonna stop.
Wait, what? Excuse me? What?
There's
I
too
got
many
it.
statues.
So good. I love it.
Oh gosh.
Damn it! What did I mess up? Crap.
Oh, he doesn't mean in your he doesn't mean in your past vision
No.
window. He means in the current window. The one out in the
Which
main office.
means-
That was the one that was freaking him out, was the one out in the main
When
office.
I wasn't paying attention, I skipped into a different timeline. Is what my initial
But yeah, it's just
pants shitting moment is.
there's too many statues. And that's where yeah.
Oh
right.
shit. Oh wow.
Awesome. This
That's
is gonna
easy.
be great.
Before everybody splits.
Well, we're gonna do the end of session thing, but you
Oh,
go
right.
ahead.
Okay.
So actually we'll start with Perry. Closer to the team, further away from the team, more in the image of
Oh,
yourself.
so much closer. So much closer.
I'm assuming
yes.
to Caleb, but
Well, I mean,
then again, Mitzi invited you over to the next party.
well, closer to everybody except the guy that I'm always worried about. But there's that. So, but I mean, 2 out of 3.
Yep.
You
You can
And
also
if
do, if you want, you could give an NPC influence over you, like a boiler or something.
Oh,
Really want
shit.
to. If you want
Forgot
to,
about that.
you can do that. I mean, if it's like, I just don't want, I want to just retrain. I've had people do that. They'll be like, yeah, I want to get closer to the team, but through that, like, Mitzi already has him. I feel like her family, that kind of thing. Maybe not. You don't have to. It's totally fine. I'm just throwing that out. I don't want. I'm pointing it out more to like let you know the options on the table than to say you should do.
Yeah. I mean, I can totally see that as awkward as Perry is, his silly little gift of the bath bomb foot thing could be completely misinterpreted. And then now I've got to deal with, like, I can't just ghost her, them. I forget. I'm sorry.
Shall she her? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you should write
So
that down. Yeah, you
that's a
should totally.
possibility.
Yes, let's get Let's get some more high school kids with influence over you guys. That sounds like a good idea.
yeah, that's where my
Can you
my instinct
Can
went.
you spell it for us and put it?
Is it
It's-
Xiao
it's in the
Shengmao,
chat.
the small bear cat? XIAO.
It's Xiao Da. It's XIAO. Last name's DA.
Nice.
So cat
It's in the
cat
games
big
at the
big
beginning.
cat. I got it. I have
And she just
I-
has
I-
influence, so no labels shift or anything like that. But you can clear a
Okay.
condition, or you can take potential from that if you want.
Okay.
If you want, do one of those things.
Okay.
Mitzi, what
Thank you.
Yes.
do you think?
I think I got closer to the team. Except for
Except
that
for
one guy.
that one guy. That I was telling, incidentally, we went off the rails talking about doing the game last night, talking about this game. The girls really wanted to let's just do a team up. We can just drop in, I don't know, with like a dimensional portal or something. We can show up and just be here for the game and I miss our game so much. They haven't been able to play in months. But I was telling them about the whole will they won't they and how that's been going, and they were just like, I don't even know these guys, and I'm like shipping them. Oh God. It was so funny.
So great.
I tell you, I've said this before. You guys are great. Don't get me wrong, but there is nothing like playing Masks about teenagers with teenagers.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
The audio signal is just a solid black bar top to bottom because they are howling about everything that happens all the time. It is crazy.
That's awesome.
Oh, it is. Yeah. The first couple of the first couple of sessions are almost like, unless you're looking for a specific thing, are almost unlistenable because they're just screaming about everything. Every time a boy even kind of looks at them sideways, they just lose their shit. Yeah, it's good stuff.
I see influence over, which is the people that I have.
Just put it,
influence
yeah,
over.
just
Where's
put it
the
down into
influence over me?
like what I would do is I go down to the bottom, add another one, and say, just write in influence over me, and then make another one and put make it like it's a header.
Got it.
And then
Yep.
just put a dash in, and so it looks like it's a little bit of an indent. Okay, so closer to the team, but who should get influence, do you think?
Gosh.
Yeah, I know it's hard, right?
Both. What have I got to choose? I think Caleb, just because he brought the cake.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And also him offering to put laxatives in Simon's
There you go.
food.
Yes.
Now, I think you already had influence, in which case just go ahead and shift label. And Mitzi, you can clear condition, or
I don't have any conditions to clear.
you can add potential.
Oh,
Look at you,
nice.
being all powerful.
okay. Wait, I get to. So
You get-
am I should?
If you already have influence, you can shift.
Yeah, shift my labels, please.
Shift your labels. However you see that happening. And
I think Savior down, freak up.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
power.
Are you gonna do it, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do it.
Okay. Freak up.
And Caleb, where are you at?
Savior down.
Oh, I definitely feel closer to the team.
Big
Like-
softy.
Me and Perry, man, we bonded over me finally understanding something that he said,
Even one thing.
and then we baked cakes together. Like, come on now.
I drank your pickle
Also, you
juice.
should- That's a weird sentence. Please don't say it again.
What'd you say? You drink what?
I said I drank his pickle juice. At some point, like you've got
Yeah, you
six
did
you've
not-
got 6 arms and frosting and batter. I'm just standing in your refrigerator drinking the pickle juice straight out of the jar. So, did you miss that earlier?
No, I found it.
Sorry, did you need it again? You have
So-
really nice.
It's gonna go to
Pickles.
influence. Is gonna go to Perry.
Really nice
Gross.
pickles.
But I'm regretting this
There's
decision.
absolutely nothing about this is good. All right, so Perry, if you already have influence, you can shift his labels, and Caleb, you can clear
You can
condition.
shift his labels again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
You can shift his
That's
labels as you
dangerous.
see fit, and Caleb, well, one up, one down. I said not as you see fit. Caleb, you can clear condition, add or clear or mark potential. I'm almost done.
Okay, so I'm gonna mark potential,
Yay!
and then we did not make a
We did not
Fine.
probably make progress on your thing, although I think it'll
Ooh.
probably come up next time because
Okay.
there's too many statues.
Okay, so fun fact: I now have 3 doom
Oh
signs.
my god. We gotta make sure that,
How did your doom go up again?
because if he doesn't make progress toward resolving his
Oh.
doom during a
Mhm.
session, he gets another checkbox, and he was pretty close on the last one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless, is there a thing where you can, instead of taking potential, you can reduce your doom track? I don't remember. I feel like there's a way to
Yes.
reduce your doom track.
Yes, so that you can remove a doom sign once you advance.
Oh, right, so you can knock
Yes.
your thing down. Right, gotcha.
Yes.
So,
So-
as one of your advances, you can knock out a doom sign. Gotcha.
Correct.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I-
your foot's been on the gas pretty hard with those. You might want to.
There was a reason I was like, I'm just not going to do any of them today. Like, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And then I was at the end. I was like, oh wait.
Yeah. Keep in mind that while I got a lot, I was playing one session.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
I mean,
it's
I'm
fine.
having fun with it, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, and you're doing a great job with it. I love the way you're leveraging the whole thing. First person I know that played Doom, like took the Doom playbook and then literally did Dark Visions one time. It was as their first thing, and it was like man, lean in, do this thing. But that was fine. There was other stuff going
I'm
on.
taking Portal as my third Doom sign.
Stealing good tricks from Perry. You're gonna copy everybody. You're like I'm gonna burn from the one thing, and you're a reflection of your faith.
If he is spending all of his originality on lyrics and scansion and chords,
He can have my
I'm
portals.
good. Like borrow a pal.
Your
borrow
portals are going to
portal.
feel a lot different than Perry's portal. That's all I'm going to
Oh,
say.
for sure. Yeah,
Going
yeah.
through those things are going to be uncomfortable.
I shifted your labels, sir.
Though.
So that I used infinite powers to do that one.
He's got this thing where he can copy any not the moves, but the abilities from pretty much any other playbook. So he
Okay.
needs to be able to fly. And one of the powers that you can. It's basically a narrative thing where he's like, I need to be able to portal. So he does that, but every time he does that, he has to mark a checkbox on his Doom track.
I was like, we went through a portal last time.
Yeah, you did. Now he can just portal as a thing without having to be. It's not that I'm stealing it from somebody else's playbook. So now he can still do like. I need to have super strength for a little bit. I need to be able to breathe underwater for a little bit. I need to be able to whatever. All the little ability lists that you have, like of the stuff that you can do, is a thing he can copy when it comes up and is narratively appropriate to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super flexible, which means you use it more often, which means more Doom track, which means more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's how it got so high this last time because I used it like 3 times.
You did. I was like, oh, there he goes.
Yep. Check. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thank you
You're
so
awesome.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm so happy I thought of the statue thing. You know what's terrifying? My brain.
Mhm.
Because I thought of what it was. And then you're like, oh, I'll see if I can remember. I'm sure it'll pop up when I'm like, I put the thing, I should have him remember that when he's like falling asleep tonight. And then it got to that scene and I was like, I know it's like, he was going to remember something. He was going to remember something when he's sleeping. He's going to remember something. What was it? Oh my God. What was he going to, because I thought I'd forgotten it.
Oh no!
And then I remembered.
Did you have a little taped sticky note?
No, I didn't. And I should have.
And a tape sticking in with the egg timer.
Perry's living space is picking up some really nice characteristics that I think are great. All right. Thank you all so much.
In
All
about
right, guys.
30 seconds, check the Discord feed. I have a quick little WIP for you that I was doing while I was off camera here today
my
for
God.
you. So,
All right.
yep, it's yeah, okay.
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 All right. Thank you guys. I will talk to you soon. Thank you all. I shouldn't say guys.
This was awesome.
I should
Thank you very much.
Thank all you lovely people.
And you,
Uh,
and you,
Okay.
and you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Love you all.